Hello, YouTube. It's your pal Ryan from So Bad It's Good. Welcome to the YouTube channel. This is part of a podcast on iHeartRadio, but we do the YouTube videos as well. So today it's a little differently. You'll probably see two videos. You'll see this plus a Beverly Hills the part 3 recap. So you'll see that, which is just all sorts of insane. I cannot wait to recap that. But also, there'll be a separate video because I'm including in the same episode Chef Stuart O'Keefe. You know him from, of course, his cookbook with Amy Phillips, the Jeff Lewis show. The dude is amazing, and you're gonna want to check out the video because he's a hot dude. Like I was even stunned by his beauty, and I've met him a bunch, but he is just the best dude, the nicest dude, and the funniest dude. So that'll be a separate video. But if you want to listen to them all together, just go to the podcast. What you just missed on the podcast was a mashup because I like to get myself going. So let's start it. Okay, we're gonna start. We're gonna just hit record on the podcast. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, you guys, to So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. We've made it. Friday, folks. Not only have we made it to the weekend, but we have made it to the end of Beverly Hills. And to celebrate that, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to crush a sugar-free Red Bull right now. Okay, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. I truly just did that because I need energy. I need energy for the rage to go through my brain, throughout my whole body, and then, of course, out the mouth. Now, today is a very special episode because not only do we have a recap, but we have Chef Stuart O'Keefe. Yeah, Chef Stu. Awesome. He is amazing. You're going to love him. And the reason why I'm pairing it, because we do talk about the Beverly Hills Part 3 reunion. Now, if you're new to the show, and we got a lot of new listeners lately, and that is so amazing. Hi, you guys. I know it's weird, but trust me, you're like, why was there music at the beginning? I don't put my chocolate in peanut butter. Don't put your peanut butter in my chocolate. But I think you can mix it up as both. I'm a baby of like drive time radio where it would be like 4-hour Howard Stern shows. So this is my feeble attempt at a long form podcast, but I put timestamps. So if you want to skip past that music, totally get it. But I also think on Fridays, you want to jam out. And that's like a mashup by one of my favorite mashup DJs out there ever, Girl Talk, who I love. So you can skip past that. These show notes, you can skip past that too. You can go, hey, I'm here for the Chef Stu interview. Okay, cool. But then you might be, you know what? I'd rather start with the Beverly Hills recap first and check out the insanity of what Ryan talks about with Kathy and Rinna, this Lisa Rinna. Hey, is everybody ready to hear Ryan's take on the reunion? Kyle, please. Kyle, you're not defending me, Kyle. Kyle, you're not defending. Dude, don't. I mean, I think we can all agree, like, who knows what the hell went on in Aspen? I mean, I'm getting a clearer picture, but we can agree that Kyle is scared shitless of Kathy Hilton. Like, I truly felt bad for Kyle. I mean, like, literally, those people at Kimosabi, her favorite hat store, just must be like, oh my God, I feel so bad for Kyle. I hope she still comes in and shops for hats here. So we're going to get all into that, and you can skip right back and forth. Choose it your way, a la carte, the whole thing, whatever. We had a great week this week. We had Jackie Schimmel from the Bitch Bible. We had Sammy Sage from Betches. I did 2 recaps of Salt Lake. I had Sophie Ross on Monday from the podcast So True. And you guys, you wouldn't believe it, but I have no life. I literally have no life. This is it. I've been moving as well. Tomorrow, it's 7:38 p.m., which is early for me to put the pod together, but I have to wake up at like 6 a.m. to meet movers at my house. Well, what was the house I was in, to move all my shit into storage. And then I'll be back and forth from LA and Arizona to be with my mom and my family. So I'll be going back and forth, but don't worry, it's not going to affect the pod at all. In fact, you guys are my respite from what is going on in my life. So thank you for being here for me. And if I am more gregarious or more, what's that word? Insane than usual, just know I'm working through things through talking about the housewives. How about that? And you guys at home, just listen, enjoy, have a drink, gather around the hearth, the fire with the family. There will be dirty talk, not in terms of sexiness, but we'll use the F word a couple of times. So I always want to warn families about that. Also, for the people with families, I do another podcast called What the Kids Are Watching, and we have a new Halloween themed episode tomorrow, a show called Blippi. And if you parents out there know what I'm talking about, this Blippi guy, truly worried about him. So go over to What the Kids Are Watching. It's on iHeartRadio as well. I do it with my co-host Natalie Pouchet, and we had the best time recapping this show because she has a kid and I don't. So she is used to this stuff, and I think she actually liked Blippi. And I was like, Blippi scares me. Okay, even if you don't have kids, you might want to go over and listen to it just because it's hysterically funny to make fun of a dude. Like, it's a live action kid show where a guy goes, he giggles like that. Okay. If you like this podcast, and how could you not? I just talked about Blippi. Leave it 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I always talk about that because it truly does help, not even my podcast, but others. If you like something that you listen to, support it in any way you can. And it's the freest way that you can support it. If you want to support me even further, go to the Patreon for $5 a month. You get access to over now 250 plus episodes that have never been on the main feed. You're getting not 1, not 2, 3 Kardashian recaps this weekend. See how excited I am? 3 Kardashian recaps this weekend because I'm covering Kardashian season 2, and it's been a little hectic. So finally, I'll be able to get to those this weekend. And then plus me and Kate Legayco are recapping Selling the OC, and we'll be on our finale as well. So that's ending. But I think it's worth it over there. We're going to do some Patreon only live shows as well, where you guys will be able to comment in the feed. So lots of stuff over there for $5 a month. Okay. Are we done with the plugs? Let's get into this. But I first wanted to say right off the bat, a happy birthday to somebody very special to me and to the show, but mainly to me, Meditza Lopez, who does all the graphics, the beautiful graphics for these shows. And she is somebody, I mean, what do you say about Meditza? I've worked with Meditza even before So Bad It's Good. I mean, Meditza is a perfect example where internet friends can actually become real life friends, and where I'll always be like, you know what? You can actually make really good friends on the internet, because I met her in like a Facebook group and through podcasting, and she would send me funny images and I would laugh at them. And then finally, like, she would actually encourage me to do things and encourage me, or like, oh, I heard you talk about this. Here's a funny image for that. And it's a very, it's one of those things where I'll tell her an idea and she'll make it better. Like I was saying the other day, this weekend, I was like, oh, Lisa Rinna with that woke_stan account that we talked about on Monday with the Twitter thing. Like, she might be the one behind this Twitter account. I was like, oh, wow. It reminds me of Robert Durst from The Jinx, that HBO show, where he was also like talking to himself of like, and he was burping. Of course I murdered all those people. Of course I did. And it reminded me of Lisa Rinna. And I told Meditza the idea, and then she made the image, like, just chef's kiss. You can tell her an idea and she'll take it and she'll strap her artistry around it. And I truly value creative partnerships like that. But aside from all of that, she's just a really great friend, and it's been an honor to watch her blossom because I think we are alike. A lot of us are alike out there, where we are finding ourselves as we get older, and we are striving to become better people and push ourselves more than we ever did when we were younger age. I mean, we're all literally just 25 years old. That's how old we're turning, whatever. It's not even, don't even look into it. But I'm very proud of all the stuff she has pushed herself to do in these last couple of years. And I'm proud to call her a friend, and also somebody that works on this show. So very proud to say happy birthday, Meditza Lopez. Everybody give a shout out to Meditza today. Also, a couple of thoughts before we get to Chef Stu. just in terms of general pop culture, we're not going to talk about we talked about Kanye a lot, not a lot this week. I could have talked about him way more, but I just want to say on the topic of freedom of speech, the freedom of speech, and especially in this country, what a flipping gift that I can sit here and rage on for 3 hours about Lisa Rinna and do these horrible imitations and say my thoughts and get like say dirty things like, I'm Erica Jane. I'm getting a lot of dick. I want dick, dick, dick. I got dick before the reunion ending. I almost didn't get here because I was having sex. Erica Jane. Like, I get to actually say things like this. What if I get totally fired tomorrow? And I mean, people get listen to that. What a cool thing about freedom of speech. But the thing about freedom of speech, I can really feel the Red Bull kicking in right now. This Red Bull ain't no joke. The thing about freedom of speech is I can say all that, and then on the other hand, it could wildly offend some of you, right? You could be like, what? This man doing a horrible Erica Jane imitation, talking about taking it up the old tutor or what? I don't even taking it up one of the hole. Like what I'm saying, like people out there could be offended by that. And so I have to go, okay, I have this freedom of speech, right? And it's really cool. But at the same time, I have to realize that just because I have it doesn't mean everybody needs to approve it and thumbs up and, oh, cool. Like, you get to have freedom of speech. It doesn't mean everybody supports it. And especially when you go towards a hate thing. And that's my whole point that I've been trying to make in regards even to the Kanye thing, is that I've never heard a man get more freedom of speech and more of his opinion out there and still complain that he is being censored. I'm like, dude, if it were my choice, I wish I didn't hear half the things. As a fan of his, I was packing up my room and I was going through all these shirts, and I have so many Kanye West t-shirts from his concerts, like Yeezus tour, and these are like sought after, I would always get something at one of his concerts. Like that was, what the old credit card was for. And I just sat there and I was like, do I throw these away? Do I keep them? I'm not going to be an idiot and burn them. I'm just not a burn anything kind of guy. Except through my money at BravoCon, I'll burn through that. No, but you know what I'm saying? But it's really frustrating just because I'm like, we do have freedom of speech, but we also have to realize with that, you also have a freedom of choice, the person that hears it, or all of us that hear it. You choose to hear what I say and either like it or dislike it, agree with it or disagree with it. And that's a really cool thing. It can be scary too. And sometimes I've not benefited from that because sometimes people have hated what I've said, but sometimes people have been like, yes, dead on. But it's cool that we have that exchange of ideas. It's just that when it comes to hate, I just really don't think, to me, I just thought I guess we weren't at that place, but I'm hoping we can get to a place where that's obvious. It's obvious that if all of a sudden I just sort of say like, well, Rinna's this way because she's like of this certain faith and this certain religion, and that's how they all are. They're all like Lisa Rinna. You'd be like, what the hell is this dude on? Like, what? No place for that. I hope we can agree on that at least. We don't agree on a lot, but I hope we can agree on that. Also, did you see that spray tan stain that Dorit left on the reunion couch? Hi, I'm Dorit Kemsley, and I will leave my spray tan this season. I did not leave much of an impression on this season. Beep boop bop beep boop boop boop. Dorit P30, but I did leave all of my spray tan on this beautiful couch. Do you think Bravo bills her for ruining that couch? Like, is that couch over at like, big guy, I'm going to Punta Mita. When I come back, I want to sit on my new couch I had to buy because old Dorit got it all orangey, like she's Lisa Barlow over that Salt Lake City. Punta Mita, that's where you go. I'm John Jansen. Sorry, there's like a handful of people that like when I scream out, I'm John Jansen, Shannon Bedore's boyfriend. So if you're new to the show, I don't have Tourette's. I might, but I don't. I just that I shout that out sometimes because John Jansen, I just picture John Jansen always shouting out his own name. Anywho, What an intro, Chef Stu. So Chef Stu, I talk about in the intro, but I met him at the Countess Luann show months and months and months ago, and we were both inebriated. But he is one of the nicest dudes out there, and like he has a skill as a chef, but he's also funny as hell. If you ever, I mean, and his dude, he's going out with Jeff Lewis, and we all know Jeff. We all love Jeff. I've watched Flipping Out from the very beginning when it was actually on. And I told Chef Stu in this that I was like, I'm pissed that Jeff Lewis is so good at radio. Cause it's like, don't you get upset when other people, like I'm the same way with Chef Stu. It's like, Chef, you can cook. Why are you good on the radio? And why are you good looking? We should only all have one talent. I don't believe people should be multi-talented. If I run for office, I'm going to say we should not ever be multi-talented. We should only have one talent, and that's it. And today's guest, Chef Stuart O'Keefe, he's a chef. He's awesome on the radio. I truly believe, I mean, he's been on all of these TV shows already, but we talk about it. He is destined for his own TV show. He literally, like, I have a voice for podcasting. He has the face for TV, and he's just so damn easy to get along with and likable. And that's not to say that he isn't funny, because he is funny as hell. If you listen to him on Jeff Lewis Live on Radio Andy on Sirius XM, you will know what I'm talking about. He is hysterical. Like, I have Sirius in my car, and I usually listen to Stern, and I try not to listen to Bravo things, but sometimes I'll creep on over to Radio Andy to listen to my friend Amy Phillips or Michelle Collins when she was on there, or Jeff Lewis if I'm up. And when Chef Stuart is on there, I mean, they can just talk about innocuous things and I'll just kind of die laughing. So I was so happy that he finally came on the show. I saw him so many times at BravoCon, and he's just the best dude. But I'm doing this, and also he has a very different opinion on the Kathy Hilton Rinna thing, and I think that's a great place to start, because we should all have different opinions, okay? So we are going to start with Chef Stuart O'Keefe, and remember, there's going to be a YouTube video eventually with him as well, which check out, because it's like Beauty and the Beast. He's the beauty, and I'm Ryan. So here he is, Chef Stuart O'Keefe. And then remember, directly after that, we're going right into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, episode 3, reunion finale. Chef Stuart O'Keefe. Okay, YouTube, we're going to pause. Okay, YouTube, we're back. Hopefully you went to the Chef Stu video, unless you're listening to on the podcast, and then it's seamless. But what you just heard, what you missed, is Beverly Hills by Weezer. Here we go. Beverly Hills. Yes, we are here, folks. Finally, thank you to Chef Stu. Now, usually on Fridays, we do this as a solo episode where I'm just going crazy about Beverly Hills, but I wanted Chef Stu on to give a little bit of a different opinion, to give that information about Rinna. It truly is kind of a whodunit. It's becoming clearer and clearer. And remember, what do we always say on the podcast? Please leave me a good review. No, but what we also say is, two things can be true at once, right? Kathy can, and probably most likely did, have a meltdown. Also, Lisa Rinna, not a reliable narrator. So you're at this kind of weird impasse. And also, I just find it truly sad and a little darkly acerбically funny that Lisa's reputation is such that she's probably telling the truth, but since she's overacting, and we have all of these other seasons to base her, how we feel about her behavior, that we truly still don't believe her. And even if, like, there are aspects of this, like I've said on this show many times, where I'm like, okay, Kathy had a meltdown. Lisa's had 8 meltdowns on the show that just this season. Now, where I have an issue with is it Kathy did the F slur, or what Stu said was the N slur. To me, inexcusable. No, F that. That's horrible. Not really even that funny. But the meltdown part, she sure as shit had a meltdown. But Rinna almost just can't help herself. She can't get out of her own way. And that's why she is kind of an iconic character, even though I'm very tired of her. I think I'm so ready for the off season, because I'm ready for an off season, even on social media, from her, just because it's like a person wearing 2 left shoes. It's just clunky. It's like those Frankenstein boots that Alex, you know what I'm saying? Alex wore on Real Housewives of New York. She stumbles all over herself and she thinks she's being so cool. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. Bloop. Like her social media is truly scary. I told you guys about that earlier this week. Somebody sent me a DM and it wasn't joking, saying like, do you think Lisa Rinna actually has a mental disorder? And I'm like, well, this many seasons on a housewife show would definitely give you a psychosis if you didn't have one before. But listen, I take mental health very seriously. Who knows what that is? I mean, for comedy's sake, I really hope this is just her thinking she's being sly. And if it is her actually having a real true mental breakdown, I truly hope she gets help. And there's not a lot of ways that I can joke about that because I take it seriously. So we're going to pretend it's not actual psychosis and that she is just a thirsty person that really needs this job. Imagine Rinna Rose next. If Rinna doesn't come back on the show, how the hell are we going to sell Rinna Rose? How is it? We're like some factory is just going to be sitting on 8 billion bottles of Rinna Rose. And if you light a match, that thing's just going to go up like that. That's got to be like cheap gasoline. Do you ever wonder why we can't, like, we're so smart. Like, why do we need gas to fuel cars? Like, why can't somebody invent something that actually runs on Rinna Rose besides giving it, so besides Rinna Rose giving you the runs? Heyo, rim shot. This is already not going great. I just wanted to also thank somebody who took notes for me all season long, Juliana Carraza. And I know she has been moving and has had some pet difficulties and still just killing it. Like, you guys don't know how big of a help, because these are just like silly. You're like, oh, you're just doing these voices. But like, it helps so much because I still watch the shows the same amount, but to not have to be looking down at my computer, mistyping every sentence, it is just really, really, truly incredible. So Juliana, I know you're listening. Thank you so much. I couldn't have done this without, I couldn't have made these fart jokes without you. I mean, truly, you did. Yeah, I mean, you did the good part. I'm making silly comments based on the vernacular that you wrote down, but I am so excited to recap this because it was like I said with Stu earlier, that second part of the reunion was a snooze fest to me. I could have just been in a bad mood, but this third part came in energized, and it almost made me appreciate that they didn't have a fourth part, not just because I wanted out and the sweet release of No More Beverly Hills, but it almost left you wanting more. It got you excited again. That's what I said on an Instagram post tonight. What if they have a Secrets Revealed episode? Remember when they used to do those? It would be like Vanderpump Rules, secret revealed. And I would like, wouldn't it be funny if they just showed Jax cheating like 6 times in a row on a Secrets Revealed episode? But on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, wouldn't it be amazing if next week we get Beverly Hills Secrets Revealed and it's just all the nightclub footage, all the Sprinter van footage, and all the footage back at Kathy's at Kyle's Aspen house where Kathy is just stomping on her glass. That's the part where it becomes too much. Like, Rinna, you have so many things that we could believe you on about Kathy, but you locking the door to your bedroom, like, I'm so scared of Kathy. I've never seen anybody like this. Harry, answer the call. Answer me, Harry. I'm about to lose my life to Kathy Hilton. Rinna, open the door, Rinna. It's me, Kathy. I just stomped on my Warbly Parkers. Let me in, Rinna. No. You're making me have the runs. I'm gonna double lock myself. The door and the bathroom door. Come on. That's the part where it's like, this girl fucking gets into a fight with like unknown Instagram users, and we're supposed to think that like she's like, I've never seen the devil. She was the devil that night. Which there is a funny element of that. What if truly Kathy Hilton is the devil? It's totally right. And that night, Kathy was like, I am Satan, Beelzebub. Rinna, you will bow down before me, or Amelia and not Amelia will have a very tough time. Like, what if she actually breathed fire? That is something that I would be totally down for. Like we get so intense about these seasons, obviously myself included, where it becomes like Game of Thrones. Like, can't you rooting on a dragon and it was fire breathing? And Harry, I couldn't get a hold of him because he was doing one of those solo camping trips. And Amelia was shaving her eyebrows and couldn't hear my screams for help over the cellular network. And I've never bothered to learn Bedelia, the other one's number, not Amelia. So this reunion, sorry, this reunion brought it all. This reunion had it all. I feel like Stefan from Saturday Night Live. This reunion had it all. Kathy in fuzzy slippers, Rinna lying her ass off, Erica saying that she still talks to Tom because it's human, because of humanity. It had everything. Dorit leaving an orange stain on a I mean, all Sutton did was like raise her brows sometimes. Like, Sutton, where the fuck have you been? Like, literally, some of the best eye movement, like Chef Stu said, like, I mean, really great facial reactions, but like, where was like, I'll say, I know, Lisa Rinna, you ain't coming for Kathy like that. I'll say. There was a rumor at BravoCon that Kathy and Sutton had to be kept away from each other. I don't know what that's about, but what I will say, you guys know and heard last week how poorly my Sutton meeting went. And for truly like a sexy, hot gentleman like myself, the fact that she wasn't fawning all over me, here's my suspicion is that, well, first off, two suspicions. She doesn't know who the fuck I am, but I will say this. She has been tagged and messaged enough about me where I should be on some sort of watch list where she'd at least be aware of the name. But I truly think this is okay. I was thinking about this when I was watching Watch What Happens Live last night, a show I love. Heather Gay was on it after Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And remember, we recapped 2 episodes this week. Remember, go back and listen to old episodes. They totally hold up. These should be in the Smithsonian. I'm not even making that up. And remember, next week, we start Potomac recaps. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, man, that Red Bull really kicked in. I'm feeling A-okay. I always thought you needed the vodka with the Red Bull, but the Red Bull itself, it does the trick. I always thought it was the vodka that gave you energy, but it turns out it was the Red Bull. Interesting. Heather Gay was on Watch What Happens Live, and she talked about, listen, we know like how hard she has stood behind Jen Shah, so much so that it makes us, the fans, like, first off, worry about her, because I think everybody genuinely likes something about Heather Gay, but like we always have that one flaw, right? The our Achilles heel, like the one thing that kind of makes us worried, like what? I totally get it up until that point. And for me with Heather Gay, that point is Jen Shah. But she revealed something on Watch What Happens Live that kind of put everything into perspective for me, was she goes, well, Lisa Rinna from the very beginning has always been a close friend in my DMs. And she said, you got to stand by your friends. Friends come first. And I'm like, Heather, you watch these shows. She stands next to dipshit Erica Jane all the time. Don't listen to Lisa Rinna. And if you go back and listen to that Heather Gay interview that I did with her like a year and a half or however long ago it was, she talks about Lisa. In fact, I think I might have cut that. It should still be in there, but I know I did cut a couple of things out per request, but there was a thing in there saying that Lisa Rinna was one of the first people to get into her DMs. Usually that's Bronwyn Wyndham Burke. Back in the day, she would always like Bronwyn Wyndham Burke, which, by the way, congratulations on finally getting the divorce and all of the good stuff that you're living an authentic life now. But she was one of those people, like housewives campaign, like politics, like politicians. And we're kind of in the middle of like, sometimes housewives, like it's like midterms for the housewives. They're, getting into everybody's DMs. And Lisa Rinna was one of those people, but Heather Gay last night on Watch What Happens Live, if you watched it, said Lisa Rinna has been such a close friend and gave such good advice. And I'm like, girl, that ain't good advice. I'm telling you, that isn't good advice. And Leslie Grossman was the other guest, and hats off to Leslie Grossman. Well, first off, I disagree with Leslie Grossman where she goes, are you not entertained with Lisa Rinna? And I'm like, you know what, to be honest, I'm not entertained anymore, but hopefully some of you guys are. I'm entertained in the sense of pulling it all together. And I thought Kathy got so many good barbs in this episode. But Leslie Grossman also said, hey man, Jen Shaw, she actually like stole from the elderly. It's not that cute. And Heather had to sit there and listen to it. And listen, I hope that friendship is completely worth it. And I feel like some of these, I mean, we probably do it in our own relationships too, is that we just not blissfully or painfully ignore the obvious, right? We know something is afoot amiss, but we tell ourselves otherwise because we want to believe in a person so badly, right? Like I wanted to, dude, how about that? And if the kids are in the room, kick out the kids. You hear about this Santa Claus guy? I believed in Santa Claus, I think up until like 2 years ago. Like this was the guy that was supposedly going around giving you the gifts on Christmas Eve, and you go to bed and you put out the cookies and stuff like that. Next morning, gifts are underneath the tree. Big old dipshit Ryan here. Like I truly believed into him until an unhealthy age. I think I was like 13. Like let's just say the kids were already talking at school, and I was like, fuck you. I was always standing up for Santa Claus. Of course, that's what you'd believe. Yeah, because you're a loser. Santa Claus totally exists. How else are you going to explain gifts getting under your tree? You think that's your parents, dipshit? Parents need sleep. Santa Claus doesn't. Like I would go to like great lengths. And this is, just because we are family here, I admit everything to you, and you are kind of my therapist. Thank you, BetterHelp. This is so sad. Next time Mom's on the show, I'll have to into my into my 30s. I would have my mom. I wouldn't. This is so. I'm so sorry. I know if you're new to this, you're like, why is? I wouldn't let my mom on Christmas Eve. I would make my mom wait until I went to bed to put out the gifts. So, into my 30s, I would come out and be like, oh, he came. When you say something out loud and you're like, oh, that behavior like that is exactly why I am in the position I am now. Like there would be, like into my 30s, I'd be like, oh, he came. And knowing full well, because my mom asked one year, hey, you're a little long in the tooth. Maybe we could just start putting the gifts me and Dad get you, because they get, a couple pieces of clothing from the Gap or Old Navy and like some books and DVDs. Oh God, I was packing up those DVDs today. Why did I need a Blu-ray version of License to Drive with Corey Feldman and Corey Haim? Great movie, but I don't know why. I was like, I obviously need to see the clearest version of this film, and that's only on Blu-ray. But yeah, like she was like, hey, we're getting a little, you're getting old. Can we just put out the gifts? Like, just like when you come back, like you don't even live here anymore. You come in on the 22nd. Can't we just already have the gifts out? And I'd be like, ooh, you know what? Let me get back to you on that, because that's a tough one. Like I kind of think, and then I was like, no, I'd prefer the gifts to be. I'd prefer the gifts to be, because I would prefer to have it be a surprise. Anyways, sorry. Okay. Also, I wanted to do a special shout out to Patrick Summers, who we've talked about a lot. If you don't know Patrick Summers, you should, because he really inserted himself into all of this Lisa Rinna hoopla. And your moms are watching that Instagram account, and she was in his DMs and he was DMing her. And then he was in my friend, Blonde Hair, Black Hearts podcast and did an interview. And there's still some mystery as to why he took it this far. Was he ever working for anybody? And I didn't even, but I will keep talking about all of this situation. And Patrick, I think if you're listening, I think you kind of want that, and partly what would you expect if we follow Housewives? Of course, you're going to be talked about, which I think is what you want. But I tweeted last night. Was it last? No, 2 nights ago. I wrote. I was really proud of this, actually, because I'm a goof, and this is where I get my pleasure. I wrote, "'Twas the night before the finale of Beverly Hills, when all through Rinna's house, not a creature was stirring except for the rats. The blind items and tea were given to Radar Online and TMZ with care, in hopes that anyone would believe her and that her PTSD won't flare." And I thought that was a nice night before Christmas kind of thing, because it was the night before the reunion, and it's same kind of excitement. And I posted it on Twitter, and I guess it did really well. And then the one and only Patrick Summers wrote me back. Like, I didn't even tag him in this. I didn't even realize. You forget that these people actually are. I think I blocked him on Instagram just because I didn't want to be involved in that hoopla with that whole thing, because it was so confusing. And also, he said he first worked for Kathy and then he worked for Rinna, and it was just so confusing. He was like seated with lawyers. You guys remember all that? And I hate to give him more airtime, but it is kind of funny. It was actually a cute exchange. Was that he wrote? He goes, it was something like, he's like, "What are you? You're what are you? You're so old. You're almost even 50, and you better stop before I cancel you." And before I cancel you, or something like, it was something about canceling me and me being old. And I was like, he's got me there. I'm not fit, not even near 50, but I am old. But I don't know if you cancel me, because I feel like I would be canceled, like, just for the whole show in general. So I wrote back, "Hey, Patrick," because I was actually kind of excited that Patrick Summers wrote me, even though he did bring up that I was old, which I always get my feelings hurt about, even though it turns out I can't help my age, which is, it's very sad. I've tried there's no kind of deal with the devil I can make to be younger. But then he goes, but I think he goes, and something about, he wrote back, he's like, "Well, at least you're cute," or something like that. And I was like, maybe this Patrick guy isn't that bad of a guy after all. I'm cute. But that's also when I knew he was lying, because I am not cute. And that's when I know, I was like, this guy can't be trusted, because I am not cute. I am not hot. I am ugly as sin. And that's why I know this guy is lying. So, but anyways, Patrick, if you're listening, I still would just love to know the honest truth. But it confused me that he even saw that. It must have been passed around. But also, there's that part of me that goes, part of me that does think he was involved in some way, and involved with Rinna in some way, and involved with maybe the woke Stanley account, or the woke_Stan. Like, Patrick does have a way with words. So does woke_Stan. And if Patrick said he was originally working for Kathy, but then he took that back, said he was working with Rinna, and they had a plot against Kathy, like, to me, just from all of Lisa's behavior and stuff like that, it all makes sense. But also, I'm like 23 episodes into this season. So I think at this point, you could tell me that unicorns exist, and I'd be like, well, there's a good chance they do. We can't for sure say unicorns don't exist. So I wanted to bring that up as well. Are you guys ready to get into this? You're like, God, yeah, we've been ready, bro. We've totally been ready. So, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 12, episode 24, reunion part 3. The summary what the cable company gives us is: the reunion concludes as Erica is tasked with answering for her questionable decisions, both legally and sexually. I'm getting dick. Get dick down. Andy, you want to see my John? Yeah. So Erica's tasked with answering her questionable decisions, both legally and otherwise. Kathy finally comes face to face with Erica and Lisa to confront their allegations over what went down in Aspen. So finally, there's a summary that I'm like, hell yeah, I'm in for this show. Like, yes, like, even reading that caption, I was like, doing hard nipples, loved it. I was very excited about the whole process. Also, I want to point out, most of this reunion is all based around social media and things that we didn't get to see. And we always say here, show us, don't tell us, right? That's something I learned in theater, is like, show us the action, don't tell us the action. And in my Facebook group, So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey, come on, be a baddie, come join. Alex Seeger wrote this, and I've said this many times this season, but I just want to put this to you guys. Just think about it one more time, since this is our last time that we will ever talk again. She says, I've been thinking about this, and then I never want to think about it again. Do you think the season of Beverly Hills would have been equal, worst ever, with Puppygate being the other worst, if there was none of the social media posts / selling stories to the press? I personally think that the storylines and drama should happen in the episodes and during the season, not on social media. It took over the whole season and really was so off-putting. Alex, I agree with you completely. I don't think you listened to the podcast, because I've agreed with this statement from the beginning. She's right. Like, Bravo needs to we found out Bravo has an HR department in this episode, and we need to find a way, though, that this HR department needs to take a step forward and actually start putting down some like hard rules. Evolution Media, who produces the show, I mean, I don't know if they need to get posts approved or not, but it's too much unless you're filming nonstop and the action is right there that we can talk about the next day of filming. Other than that, it completely sometimes confuses things. We find ourselves having an episode of the reunion that is just about the reaction to an event that we never saw. Think about that. The third part of the reunion is about an event we never saw. Just all about the social media, who potentially leaked it to the press, all of this stuff that we don't have any proof of. And guess what? We're in a television show where they have the they have the video cameras. We've seen them use them, where it picks up by some kind of magic the image and beams it out to us. So they have the technology to show us. But I don't want to keep doing this with them unless they find some way to kind of integrate it in the show in a capacity that is entertaining and we feel like we're a part of. Because then we put on our shitty detective caps and we're, like, what if this, we're doing geotagging, we're getting hackers involved. Like, my God, what is going, like, I always thought if I was going to get into hacking, I would be changing my grades at ASU. Yeah. Okay. So what? So I didn't get good grades at ASU, like, whatever. It's not, yeah, sorry. I still didn't get good grades at a party school, but I was in the theater department and I acted the shit out of some roles there. I'll tell you that. So yeah, Alex, I totally agree with you in the Facebook group. I don't want to see this again. And I hope they put some kind of, I don't know. I don't think the correct word is muzzle, but there does need to be some kind of rules in place because it's too much. Andy goes, tonight, the reunion concludes. And we, of course, have scenes, what we're going to see that night, which I always think is just so silly because it's like we're about to see the scenes. I always just think about who is coming into this blind at this point going, what's this Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion? I've not seen the first two parts, nor am I have any awareness of these ladies, but it's the only channel I'm getting. Let's see let's watch the first minute. Well, these scenes certainly look exciting. I might tune in for the remainder of this. Nobody's saying that. We already know all of this stuff. You could just put another minute in there of actual footage because they cut out footage. Rinna's receipts, by the way, I want to point out, they might still be behind that couch. Remember in the first episode of the reunion, she was the first, hey, Andy, what's going on? Hi, Lisa, Andy said. And he goes, oh, you brought receipts in a manila envelope. And she goes, yeah, I need my receipts. And she put him behind her on the couch, which I'm just thinking, oh my God, did she forget that they're there? Is there a couch somewhere that somebody, it's like on Antiques Roadshow, like, this couch was only worth $50, but we found Rinna's receipts from season 12 reunion, and now it's worth $60, but also Rinna receipts. I just got to imagine the IRS needs those as well. Like, what if they aren't actual receipts and the things of proof against Kathy? They're just I spent $30 on a shot of 818 tequila at Kimosabe. That would be amazing. I just like to have my receipts, because sometimes Evolution Media doesn't pay me on time. So I just rent his receipts. Harry wants me to do it. Yes, it's a tax thing. We're back with part 3 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. I'm Andy Cohen. The single ladies of Beverly Hills have a diverse set of needs. Some are looking for a good date, and some are just looking for that good D. And as soon as he said that, I was like, fuck, here we go. Ryan, prepare yourself. You're about to hear about Erica Jane getting dick. And Erica, you guys, gives an exaggerated wink, goes, By the if you cue up that moment with a fart sound, it is hysterical. Sorry, Kyle laughs. Andy goes, Barbara Cookstan said, wearing a cat sweater and talking about her neuropathy is honestly icon behavior. I guess Barbara Cookstan, is that like a Twitter account? Anyways, they're talking about my sweet dear Sutton, and we see Sutton on her date with Sanjeet, and Sutton's like, my foot is itching because I have neuropathy. I'll say, which by the way, Chef Stu told that story earlier, if you listen to him, about Amy Phillips' imitation of Sutton. So if she's aware of Amy Phillips, I think Amy Phillips is much bigger than I am. I'm not trying to but what if she's aware of all imitations? And that's why she was because she was like, I don't even say, I say. But then I was like, if she knows, but overall, Sutton, the whole point is I love you. I might not do a good imitation and you might find it offensive in some way, but also the whole point is that I'm in love with you. Doesn't love win out over my bad imitation of you? Or maybe she's just not aware of me at all, but she's aware of Amy Phillips. So I don't know. That did scare me when Chef Stu said that. And then I was trying to, because I was like, there's no way. I just wanted it to go so well, and it went so poorly. It was so on brand for me. Anyways, Sutton and Sanjay, I just love Sutton. She's like, oh, my skin. I'll say my skin gets all dry and flaky right there, Sanjay. I say, I'm sorry. That is not dandruff. That is leg skin. I'll say. Andy goes, Sutton, is Sanjeet still in the picture? She goes, yes, we're friends. I'll say. And Drew goes, with benefits? And Sutton's like, no. And I was secretly my heart was doing yeah, that's right. Not benefits. Saving the benefits for this guy, this podcaster. And he goes, oh, where'd you get that cat sweater? And Kyle laughs too hard and said, calm down, Kyle. In 30 minutes, you're about to be crying for 4 hours. I stop laughing at Sutton. And Sutton's like, wait, it's a cute sweater. And Kyle's like, not for a date. And Sutton's like, well, I thought it was cute. And Andy goes, Erica, how's your sex life? And I paused to go get sick. And then I came back and Erica's like, good. I had some last night. And Rena goes, pee in the V. And Andy goes, oh, good. I wasn't coming here stressed out. Yeah. I'm going to get digged down. And Andy was like, that was your pre-reunion prep? And Erica goes, yeah. Is that her pre-law prep too? I've got one of my 30 lawsuits coming up. Dig me down. I got a big law thing coming out tomorrow. Yeah. First off, I do not believe Erica is having all the kinds of sex that she says she's having. I believe she potentially is touching herself, which there's no shame in that. Listen, when I was a kid, I thought you weren't supposed to touch yourself. Not that I touch myself, you know what I'm saying? But there's no shame in that. But I'm saying she makes it sound, she even compares it to a football team here. And it's how many people are, this truly to me feels like the biggest losing team ever. I'm just we've had a tough year, folks. We're, the Erica Jane's sex roster. We've had better years, you guys. Let's just hang in there to the off season. We're probably not going to make the playoffs. But let's just try to keep Erica happy. We got to do one last one for the reunion. She's asking for some dick and let's do it. And he goes, excellent. Do you have some regular friends with benefits? Well, Andy, you have to have a roster. Yeah, it's like a team. People are out on the bench. People can't play. You got them moving in and out. It's a relief that somebody can stay on all the time. And Rena yells, yeah, that's right. What the fuck are we laughing at, Lisa? What do we like? And is the joke here that Tom Girardi couldn't get it up? What he could get up was that bank account? Was that, to me, where's the fucking joke? Was that well, for all those years, Tom couldn't get it up, but he was buying me all this shit with illegal money, allegedly. And so but now it's funny because I'm now getting dick that actually can stay. Sorry, for all the families listening, kids, let me tell you real quick about the birds and the bees. When a P goes into a V and you're in love, and you have the right amount of SPERM count, you create magic, baby. what if Erica announced,
by the way, I'm pregnant. I don't know which part of my team did it. The roster, I don't know. There's so many on it, but I'm definitely expecting.
so I was like, okay, well, that's a cheap shot at Tom, right? Like he couldn't keep it up, but now it's a relief that somebody can stay hard all the time. Like, cool, it's sex. Awesome. And Andy goes, okay, on that note, on the heels of the most stressful year of her life, Erica was finally feeling free. But while some friends thought she was letting loose, others worried she was losing control. Let's watch. And we have those, the montage of scenes, Garcelle and Erica's drink together. Garcelle goes, last time I saw you, you were a little tipsy.
Oh, I wasn't tipsy. I was blacked out.
The good old Erica Jane, when she's like, she just says something immediately in response of like, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to completely be proud of it. And then on the day of that boat trip to Punta Bita, Erica goes,
oh my God, I'm lit.
Where she was like pissing all over herself. And then Sutton in a talking head goes, Erica's mud pie messy. I'll say. And then Kyle on the boat going, I actually love seeing Erica like this. She's having fun. She's like a different person. Isn't it fun how alcohol can do that to people? At the end of Garcelle's birthday party, a clip of that, Crystal gathering things and going, we're out. Love you girls. Bye. And Erica to Jax, not Taylor, but Garcelle's son, Jax, going,
what are you doing here?
And Jax is like, just grabbing flowers.
Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get out.
Which just caused so much drama because she was wasted yelling at Garcelle's 13-year-old son. Garcelle in a talking head goes, just because you're drunk, that's not an excuse. This was actually hard for me to hear. I was like, Garcelle, are you talking about me? And he goes, she's not going to talk to my son like that. And then we go, Erica trying to board that day boat, trips up the stairs and screams. Ah! Then Erica at Diana's holiday party falling. Oops. I love that they make her kind of like an 80s wacky drunk aunt. She kind of reminds me, you remember that movie, There's Something About Mary? Magda, the one that overtanned herself and was like, it's like she reminds me of like a Magda type character, you know what I'm saying? With like less of a tan. And then, of course, the infamous 80s party where Garcelle goes, you need to figure out your medicine and drink ratio.
I did. But is that to make Erica look bad? Or is that out of genuine concern?
And Garcelle goes, I don't have to make you look bad. You can do that on your own. When a mic drops, boom, 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 boom. So good. Also, Erica did the cardinal sin right here is referring to yourself in the third person. Like, is Ryan doing a podcast right now? Or is Ryan trying to make up for certain things in his life where he feels like a loser? Like, when you refer to yourself in the third person, everybody loses. And he goes, so when you see the montage of falling down and farting and shitting yourself, how does that land with you?
It's almost like, who is that? Looking back on it, everything, America J in the previous year, like, hey, I wanted to forget all about it. I was also numbing pain and have been very open about seeing a psychiatrist and all of that.
First off, a psychiatrist just, there's a difference between a therapist and a psychiatrist. I see a psychiatrist and a therapist. Psychiatrist, we talked for that first time and we'll check in on a monthly basis now and say, how are you feeling with the Prozac? Or do we want to try this? Or what are you feeling like? But it's usually a quick meeting after that first hour. It's not a therapist. Psychiatrist prescribes medicine. And it's very different. So like, yeah, numbing pain, but also let's just admit also drinking sometimes is fun. It's okay to admit that, but I definitely feel like she was numbing pain. And he says, Garcelle, you were obviously pretty vocal about Erica's drinking. When did you start to be concerned? And Garcelle goes, well, it wasn't until my party and the incident with Jax, because I didn't realize how bad the Jax thing was until I watched the episode, and I have a question. Why him? Out of everyone at the party, why would you say that to him and not a grown-up and not PK and not Mao and not anybody? And Eric's like,
Jax wasn't singled out. It could have been anybody. It was me being drunk and stupid. It wasn't anger. It doesn't come from a bad place. It comes from an irresponsible place.
I mean, it is kind of weird. Like, of all things, like, I think there is that thing where, there is truth to what she's saying, of course, but also when we're drunk, we are a little bit more lippy. And let's just say Erica doesn't like Garcelle. If you want to, I mean, I don't think I think Erica likes Garcelle, but Garcelle doesn't respect Erica. So therefore, Erica can't really like Garcelle like the other ladies because she knows deep down that Garcelle doesn't like her or respect her. So I think that comes into play when you're drunk and then you see somebody that is related or a good friend, you're not going to be nice to that person. I think there's a little bit of that as well, but that's just completely me. That's an opinion. And also she said all this condescendingly. It's always like with Erica, it's never, there's never sympathy, empathy for anybody else except for the situation that she goes through. So even when she expresses, being apologetic, it always comes off ringing so false and so condescending that it almost is just like, why don't even talk then? Like, really? Garcelle's like, and Dorit, you didn't even say anything to her because remember, Dorit was right there. And Dorit goes, I did, actually. I did. And Garcelle goes, you said he's picking up flowers for his mama. What's that? And Dorit goes, I said, Erica, and we get a flashback to Dorit go, Erica, he's getting the flowers for his mama. I love when Dorit says mama. I'm a child of the world. My little kids, Jagaloo and Phoenix, they go, mama, you can't have a Diet Coke, mama. No, mama. I want Dorit to go like have a song of like, mama, they call me mama. We love the mamas of the world, mama. Kids, they call us mama. Jazz hands. Putamita, that's where you go. Andy goes, Kyle, you and Dorit laughed about it, and it was unsettling to watch. Because we had that scene, we flash back to over at Kyle's where Dorit and PK are at the night of the Omanskis, where if you would believe internet rumors, they later played Twister and boned each other all night. Like, can you imagine? PK's like, right hand yellow. Ooh, I sunk your battleship, Kyle. Kyle in that scene goes, did you miss when Erica said to Garcelle's son, the 14-year-old, to go fuck off? And she laughs and PK goes, oh no. And Dorit goes, I was there. And Kyle's like, it's not funny, but it is funny. And Mauricio's like, I think it's great that she did that. I think it's very solid. Mauricio, I truly, we always give men the benefit of the doubt. It's more than women, right? Like we're always like, fuck that woman. Like, do you notice how we do that with Housewives with like Mauricio and that? Well, even I was about to go, well, he's probably high and didn't really realize what was being said. It is just, you can't not admit that there is a double standard, period. I'm not, by the way, this podcast really broke sexual politics open. He says that there's a double standard between men and women. I've never heard that before. Kyle back in the reunion says, I, like Garcelle, never saw it in person. So when I saw the episode, I was mortified. My husband was mortified. Garcelle goes, but I don't see what would be funny about this at all. And Kyle goes, I don't either. That's my bad. Like Kyle's like, I don't understand humor. I don't know what jokes are. The concept of comedy is hard for me. Garcelle goes, had I done that to you, it would have been a totally different story. And you know it. Like, imagine that. Imagine if Garcelle got drunk and like little Portia was like, hey, Portia, get the fuck out here and go sell real estate with your dad, dipshit. If Garcelle said that in some kind of Southern voice like I just did, I mean, Garcelle would no longer be on the show. Like, I mean, it would be done. Like Garcelle's house near the power plant would be done. Like, it just, I'm sorry. That's just, that's the case. But Garcelle goes, I understand that, but it's my kid as opposed to your kid. And Dorit goes, first of all, I was taken aback. Beep, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop, boop. Garcelle, I was shocked when she said that. Dorit really, like, it was Dorit, Sutton, and Christo really, because of the topic, unfortunately, it wasn't really spread out even in this episode, and it didn't need to be. That's why I thought there would be a fourth episode just to kind of spread the wealth. I mean, think about it. We didn't even get a Diana Jenkins clip package. You'd like, she's been a rich person for a lot of her life from Bosnia, but this season she was in over her head. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm Diana. Like, we didn't even have a clip package for her, and she wasn't a friend of. She was a housewife. So take that for what it is, but I definitely think it means she's one and done. I would be shocked if she comes back next season, but listen, anything can happen. So Dorit really, like, she keeps trying to throw in throughout this episode, like to get a line in. And it's like, Dorit, girl, you don't. I was talking about this with somebody maybe on the pod this week, is that, or maybe it was even Stu today. Dorit, I think Dorit's safe on this show just by being Dorit. Like, I don't want to see Dorit go anywhere, but can we say Dorit really added tons this season? No, but I would feel furious if she wasn't there. She's kind of a Luke Goldbrinson to me. Like, I was really bummed when he was off Summer House, because I like having them there. I like having them in the background, making facial reactions and laughing when they shouldn't. And I like PK and I like her kids, but sometimes she would insert herself in this episode and you'd be like, Dorit, no. I told Erica that night we went out for dinner. I said, Erica, what the fuck are you doing? Beep boop, beep boop, boop, boop. Really was not okay. Where's film of that? Like, that's what I want to see, Dorit telling Erica that. And Garcelle goes, well, Erica was wrong.
I said I was wrong.
And Andy goes, what was your reaction to Erica's apology to you? Did you feel complete from that? And Garcelle's like, I don't know if I felt complete. When someone's apologizing in this group, they tend to get to they tend to get to it. And then they're like, I'm sorry, I own it, and then you can't really, because you look crazy, like a crazy person for freaking out on him. And Rinna blinks hard hearing own it. Like, my chips, my trigger word, own it. He said, own it. I should patent that and I get a nickel every time anybody said it like Garcelle. But it's true. Think about it. Think about how many times Erica and Rinna will just go, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
And they don't mean it, but then you're like, well, they officially, quote, apologize. So it's done. And Garcelle goes, so I accepted it. Erica looks robotic and stone cold, or just like Erica. Erica just looked like Erica. And Andy goes, Erica, you were recently cleared in what seemed like a pretty significant fraud lawsuit that said you knew about what was happening. We see a headline from Daily Mail. Erica Jane is dismissed from fraud and embezzlement court case against estranged husband Tom Girardi. And she's like,
oh, do you want me to pull out my notes where I can read it to you?
Finally, she's like excited and happy. She's like, it goes,
okay, the court concludes there is no evidence of any knowledge on Erica's part of any wrongdoing by Tom Girardi or Girardi Keys, and no evidence of Erica's participation in any wrongdoing.
She's really relishing this. By the way, I highly recommend Kate Casey's podcast, where she speaks this week to Jay Edelson, one of the lawyers involved in this, that actually tells you the reality of this situation right now. You know what I'm saying, guys? So this is one of many lawsuits she's involved in. I'm glad they let her have this moment, but once again, it's not a fully truthful moment. This is not like she's vindicated. But by the way, you know what? Hopefully, I don't even know if hopefully she gets everything she wants and she's dismissed from everything, but it will never dismiss the fact that she was a fucking asshole for these last 2 years. And I know it's like,
I gotta look out for number one when people are doing number two to me.
So Andy goes, well, that's pretty significant. What was your reaction to that? And she says that to Sutton. Erica's like,
she was the first person to text me and said, congratulations on your win. I'm very happy for you. But I didn't get it until later because I was getting dick, Andy. Yeah, right in the dick.
And Sutton's like, well, I meant it. And Erica's like,
I know you did, and you wouldn't have done it.
No, I wouldn't have. And I appreciate. I'm going to be so happy not to have to plug up my nose to do that Erica Jane imitation for a while. It makes me so stuffed up. Andy goes, Renee from Facebook. What your claim to fame is, Renee from Facebook? Like, put that on my tombstone. Renee from Facebook. I was on Facebook. In May of this year, Tom was disbarred and ordered from the California Supreme Court to pay almost $2.3 million plus 10% interest for funds stolen from some of his clients. Can you sit there and say there may be no victims?
No, there's none of mine. I did not share in that responsibility.
And he goes, I think that really triggered some of the women here, because that's the whole point. Is Erica's saying, that's my husband. I just spent the money. Like, he did the crime. I spent the money. Like, she's not, and she's really clear on this point. We get a flashback to the Aspen house where Crystal's like, there's dead people that money was stolen from.
I don't give a fuck about anybody else but me and that dick I get. Yeah.
And Erica goes,
Doesn't matter if it triggers them or not. I'm in a very sticky, like last night when I was getting sex, legal fight that's very land, just like my sex. I'm going to do what I need to do, and a judge just ruled in my favor.
and Andy goes, but that was not the only case of misappropriated funds, allegedly.
There are many, that's right.
But when the women say that they don't feel that you're expressing empathy, you say what?
That's on them. That's their opinion.
And Sutton blinks hard. Sutton was doing great face work, like very silent film actor face work. And Dree goes, but it's your delivery, beep, boop, 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 boop. When you say, I don't give a fuck about anyone but myself. And Erica goes,
okay, Dorit. So the plane's going down, and they tell you to put on your oxygen mask first before you can help anybody else. I'm helping myself so that in the future I can help everyone else. My battles are far from over.
holy mother shit, you guys. Holy ball sack flapping against my thighs. Are you kidding me? Did Erica Jane use a plane going down analogy to talk about helping people when the fucking thing is the Lion Air case of the plane crashing and orphans and widows, and she uses a fucking plane with an oxygen mask like a yellow jacket? It's like, what the fuck? How did that even come out? How did that accidentally come out of your mouth? My God, like I was just like, what? Like there was no part of it was like,
hey, let me see. I realized I used a plane analogy, and that's kind of like one of the main ones with the victim. Can we take that later? Can I put in something else?
you like we could think of so many better analogies completely, you know? Okay, so the ship has gone completely off the rails in this moment. And Dre goes, but even that, what you just said right there.
Yeah? In that moment when you have been absolutely cornered for a very long time, I would have loved to have that clarity. I did not. I've been disappointed in my behavior all through the season. I'm Erica Jane.
And Andy goes, you have?
Yes, Andy, and I'm in therapy about it, and I'm doing the best I can.
And then he goes, I was struck by you telling your therapist that you were at risk of becoming hateful or mean. And it's such a sly comment because the whole, you know, the whole bit of that is like she already is hateful and mean. Also, when you've been painted into a corner for so long, is kind of bullshit because she was the same kind of venomous anger last season when all of this first came out. So I think Erica, unless you're giving her oodles of money or tons of dick, is not a very pleasant person to be around. I think she's probably one of those people that's a lot of fun to the people she deems to be fun around. That Julie Goldman and Brandy Howard, who've been on my show, they partied with Erica that one night, said she was a blast. I'm sure in like kind of like one-on-one kind of like things like that, it's really fun, you know? We see Erica in a Zoom call with her therapist, and Erica's like,
I really risk becoming hateful. I'm becoming mean, becoming something I don't want to be. Meaner and more hateful.
and he goes, well, I was going to say, is there any part of you now watching the show that thinks maybe you crossed the threshold?
No, I knew it was happening. I didn't have to watch to know my behavior was bad.
Well, then correct your behavior. Also, remember the show does not follow Erica Jane around 24/7, so she can correct her behavior. I sound like Kathy Hilton explaining something to Kyle. No, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? You're not on camera 24/7, so maybe make a special effort. Like, what do we tell kids? Well, could you be a special little boy or girl today and really try hard for mommy or daddy and be really nice? Like, make a special effort, especially when the cameras are on, Erica, to be nice. And I guess, you know, in that kind of bizarro universe where we're like, thanks for being real, Erica. Thanks for being your natural asshole self. You're not holding anything back. You're not trying to be nice for the cameras, and we appreciate it. It's weird that way that it works though, right? Because we appreciate her being her authentic self, but then you would have to admit that her authentic self is a complete asshole. And ladies, Andy goes, ladies, is Erica her own worst enemy when it comes to her defense? And Drake's like, hey, beep boop boop beep boop boop boop. I'm gonna self-destruct. Beep boop boop beep boop. And Kyle's like, absolutely. And Aspen that night, I thought she was gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, what the hell did I say? You know, that's why I got so upset. I didn't want to take her to Kimosabi. That's my favorite hat store. She might get upset there and embarrass me. Erica's like,
Kyle, you and I have been friends for a long time. I needed you to just be a little more neutral.
how can Kyle be so fucking neutral when you are so fucking jacked up? I'm so sorry about all the language. So jacked up where you're being such an asshole that you force Kyle. Listen, for somebody to say, Kyle, I need you to be more neutral, that's Kyle's whole gig is being neutral. Kyle doesn't know, like Kyle is neutral. That's Kyle's thing. And she's like,
I needed more neutral. I needed more. A little. I need more.
and Kyle's like, I've been trying to be neutral for the last 12 seasons. The last 12 seasons. But at the moment, I could no longer do that with the way you were speaking.
I'm speaking truth. There's only so much I can take. And then when they say there's dead bodies,
And we see that even at the Aspen house where Kyle goes, there are dead bodies.
are they mine? Are they my dead bodies? Is it after I have sex with them and bite their heads off? Yeah.
Kyle's like, that's a normal reaction. Erica goes,
No, it's not. No.
it 100% is, Erica.
I'm sorry.
You were out of control, Erica.
No, I was not out of control. I was angry.
Come on, she was out of control. Like, but there's like a really thin line out of control and angry. By the way, I'm looking at myself on Zoom. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is why I just have the mustache, because all this shit is just white and gray, and it is just so sad to look. Oh God. My God. Garcelle looks like, what's the difference? And Rinna looks at Kyle like, yeah. And Annie goes, let me ask you, when you watch back, did you see that she was actually trying to help you?
No.
And Kyle goes, do you realize in our defending you as your friend over this time, do you realize the heat that we have taken?
Oh, no, please don't do that.
And Kyle's like, I take a lot of heat for that. And I say, listen, she's my friend all this time. I have to wait and let this ride out like she has said. But when I see you speak like that, I cannot do that.
I cannot get attacked in this group continuously over and over.
I wasn't trying to attack you, Erica. I was trying to help you.
That's not the way it sounded. So,
And Drew goes, what are you afraid of by showing some empathy, beep-boop, boop, and waiting for this process to point to?
I have shown empathy, but I am so attacked.
Because it's the ballad of Erica Jane. I am attacked on all sides. I am crucified like the one, the only Jesus H. Christ. It's him and me and Kanye West. It's the ballad of Erica Jane. There are plain grass victims, orphans, and widows, but you're not gonna find someone who's been more misaligned than the one, the only Miss Erica Jane. Give me some dick. Damn. Finally nailed it. That was off the top of my head. I finally nailed the ballad of Erica Jane. But what she's saying here is completely true. Is that Kyle's like, listen, a lot of people talk shit about you, and my life could be a lot easier without you in it. And I stand up for you. And she's like, don't do that. No. I'm awesome. Like, come on, Erica. At a certain point, understand what your friends or even your TV friends are going through, because I have seen Kyle stand up for you. I have seen Dorit stand up for you. I've seen that one. Who's the daughter of the John Mellencamp one? The Freddie. She's the reporter on the podcast. She does really important work. I think she was a friend of Freddie Springsteen. No. Freddie Mellencamp. Freddie Mellencamp has stood up for you so many times. Anyways, I just feel like this is something that Erica should completely understand. Like, you know, when your friends stand up for you and you don't, you know, like you realize you put them in a tough spot and you're like, Dude, thank you. I really needed you in my corner. I really appreciate that. It seems like these group of ladies never get that from Erica. And they do have to stand up not only for her on the show, but like online, because half the show is played out online now. You know what I'm saying? I'm still just so impressed with the Ballad of Eric and Jane. Can somebody release that on iTunes? Can a tech wizard out there, one of you guys, take that clip and release it as a Spotify single, please? I think that's like chart topping. Should I be at Stagecoach Music Festival next year? I didn't realize I was more of a country artist, but I think that's what we consider country. Maybe it could be alternative country, but it's definitely country, unless somebody could put a beat behind it and then maybe kind of spruce it up. But could be a dance hit. I don't know. That was really good though. And I usually don't like anything that I do. So that's, so Andy goes, she's like,
I've shown empathy, but I'm so attacked.
and Andy goes, it's not landing. And she goes, what? Andy goes, it's not landing. Once again, let's stay away from landing and planes. Let's all just use different wording.
You know what's landing? Ruthlessly being persecuted. I cannot sit there and be berated over and over for 2 years. Maybe the Dalai Lama can, but Erica cannot.
What did she do right there? Refer to herself in the third person. Another big mistake, comparing yourself to the Dalai Lama. At this point, I don't think Erica has done it. I mean, she did have that prayer room in the Pasadena mansion.
This is where I go to pray. Yeah, get on my knees. Yeah.
Sutton looks upward with a confused look on her face, trying to wrap her mind around this analogy. And Andy goes, okay, so let's talk about the earrings. Why are you so intent on keeping them? Is it for financial reasons? And, Erica's like,
because they're pretty. Are you fucking kidding me? They're diamonds.
No. She's like,
I do not have them, Andrew.
And Andy goes, you don't have them.
Hold on.
Andy goes, you weren't wearing them in Colorado.
Yes, because I was ordered to turn them over after.
We see Aspen and her telling Dorit,
these were 790,000, now they're 1.3. So there you go.
Eric in a talking head goes,
why wouldn't I wear my earrings? They've been my earrings for 15 years. And until the day they're not my earrings, I will wear them. I did weird things for these earrings. Sexual things for people that can't get hard, allegedly.
You've earned them, Erica. But guess what? They're not your earrings anymore. And he goes, you're trying to get those earrings back though, right? And she goes,
we're on appeal for legal reasons.
And he goes, okay, well, that means you're in court trying to get them back.
We're on appeal for legal reasons.
And Andy goes, okay, well, we're saying the same thing.
We're not, but we are.
And Andy, oh, okay. Literally, this is where I was just like, I was like, I wish the earth would just split apart and swallow me whole. Like, just swallow me up, because what the fuck are we saying? Like even Andy's like, okay, but what, but but also a good follow-up question, Andy, might be like, okay, real quick though, what are the legal reasons? Like, I understand you're on appeal for legal reasons. Could you give me like one of the legal reasons? Like, what?
Well, you see, because the law is very tricky and you gotta have those diamond earrings.
Like, you're saying a whole lot of nothing, but since you say the word legal, we're supposed to be like, ooh, it must be real because she said illegal. And he goes, okay. And you can tell he's even like, fuck, I really like the Potomac ladies better. He goes, at 1984 is now tweeted, I would fight for the earrings too. Erica put in the work being married to Tom. She deserves her baubles. Now, I believe this is a joke tweet because somebody used the word baubles, B-A-U-B-L-E-S. It's a great word, but I also think it's kind of a jokey word. Ladies, how many of you would keep the earrings? And Garcelle's like, I wouldn't. Crystal, no. And Andy goes, you would not, Dorit. No, I would not wear. I wouldn't want anything to do with it. No. Also, PK cannot afford the earrings. And Andy goes, when was the last time you spoke to Tom?
Last week he called.
Rinna's shown shaking her head. Oh, oh my dear. And Andy goes, and what are those conversations like?
How you doing? Okay, good. Okay, great. Bye. Here's a picture of my tits. Yeah, but I know. Someone recently asked me, well, why do you still speak to him? And I was like, humanity.
I shit you not, folks. She said humanity. Now listen, I've been right a lot of times, but this is a prediction that I think I'm definitely right on. Mark my words. It's Thursday, October 27th, 9:35 p.m. Erica Jane will be nominated and win the Nobel Peace Prize this year for her work in the humanitarian arts in taking Tom Girardi's phone calls. And they say this lady doesn't have a heart. This right here shows you the kindness in her heart. That's a big heart there, you guys. None for those victims, because we don't even know if it's real. But this, she'll take the phone call. She'll let them babble on. You know what I'm saying? And he goes, I'm just thinking about someone else who kind of lost it all at the hands of their husband, and that was Ruth Madoff. Of course, Ruth Madoff, you guys know, is Bernie Madoff's widow. Is that right? No, yeah. Bernie Madoff's dead, and Ruth is still alive, and he bilked people out of billions. At first out, I was kind of like, I wonder if Erica even knows, I think Erica's aware of Bernie Madoff. She goes, yeah. And then he goes, do you ever think about her?
I don't think about Ruth. I don't.
Wow, first name basis with Ruth Madoff. And then Andy goes, right. At Crystal's birthday party, you talked about going and seeing the old Pasadena house. We see that whole thing about like,
I just went, look, it's where Tom flipped his car. I miss all the snow in Pasadena. Sometimes it's nice to go back, like I bring a jacket, like a parka.
Andy goes, did you miss your old life?
You've never heard me say, oh my God, what am I going to do about my house? Or, oh my God, I had to give up my earrings. I never whined one iota. I have a job. I'm working it out. It's going to be fine. The house can come and go, but the dick will always be there, honey. The shit can come and go. I'm just fine for myself. Erica Jane.
Also, I have a job. Like, is this the job we're speaking of? Is the job the horsehair you're selling? Like, what is the job? Like, what are we referring to as a job? Like, it's like,
I work at Starbucks on Melrose and Stanley. I start at 6 a.m. and I work 6 to 10 Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You better believe it.
Like, what are we loosely referring to as a job here? And by the way, she hasn't whined. She's just been a complete asshole. Like, yeah, there was no whining. You were actually yelling at your cast members. Andy goes, all right. And Andy goes, we'll leave it there. We'll be right back. And Erica goes, thank you. Rinna puts her hand over Erica's and Dorit pets her arm. And Erica, Freier goes,
oh, can I have a tissue? Thanks.
And Rinna hands it to her and whispers, good job. And Dorit goes, is it time for a breakdown? Oh, good. That's my cue. Meanwhile, we cut to Kathy's dressing room. So I feel like the Givenchy is a little more. And her makeup artist, Angel, is like, no, I like the velvet. And Kathy has on one pink velvet shoe and one pink see-through shoe looking in the mirror. Her hairstylist, Sheila, goes, what do you call that, Barbie chic? We started that a long time ago. You know, I gave Paris Barbie birthdays every single year till she was 35. See, I'm like Paris Hilton. I was making my mom put out gifts under the tree when I was in my 30s. And Sheila's like, wow. And Kathy goes, all right, kids, wish me luck. I'm about to go destroy that fucking bitch Rinna. Let's go. A producer leads Kathy to set, and Andy's like, well, hello there, Kathy. And we're finally like, here we are, the last 30 minutes of the last episode of the season. Like I said, wouldn't it be funny if they only bring her out for the last 15 minutes of the final episode of the reunion? And it kind of happened, like, I'm like, oh shit. But I got to tell you, get strap in, guys, get ready, put the kids to bed, because we're going in on this thing. Kathy goes, thank you. Moi, kissing, And I like that Andy really plays that game. He plays the game so well of fawning over Kathy still, and also the other ladies as well. But remember, Kathy's only 2 seasons in. And what I always imagined is Andy was like, it'll be great on the show. It'll bring you closer to Kyle. We're going to promote your products. It's going to be great because everybody worships you, Kathy. And then this is what happens. But I like that Andy is just, people don't appreciate the maneuverability. Is that a word? Maneuverability? They don't appreciate how good he is at this. Think about how many dynamics he has to kind of just control in terms of all 6 or 7 of those ladies, plus all of production, plus his own opinions. Like, that's a lot of stuff to have in your ear and to be able to like try to balance everything. So Andy goes, welcome, have a seat. Kathy to Kyle, hi, Kyle. and they greet with a kiss on the cheek. Well, you look great, Andy says. And Kathy, looking directly at Rinna and Erica, hi, girls. Hello. Hey, and I shit you, like a chill went down. I was like, oh shit, Rinna and Erica together. Hi. Hi. You know, you can tell they're even a little scared, the toxic twins. They're like, oh shit, fuck. We don't really, they truly don't know. They're like, we've tried to do our best to destroy this woman, and she's here in front of us. So here we go. Because Rinna, think about it, has had it pretty easy. Like what? She got a bunny one time given back to her by Kim Richards, and she got a beautiful tear shot out of that. But also it was Kim, and Kim at that point, she had kind of like really not destroyed Kim's reputation, but really like took her down a peg. So this is weird. Like, I don't think Rinna's used to being in this kind of space of the not knowing. And I think that she truly, and Erica especially, misjudged and miscalculated their fan bases completely. Like, we like them, but at a certain point, it's like, it's Housewives, guys. Like, let's chill out. So joining us now is Kathy Hilton. Hi, Kathy. Hi, how are you? Great to see you. Good to see you. You didn't wear your hotel slippers, Kathy. And Kathy's like, shut the fuck up, Andy. No, he was, well, I have them in the dressing room. And he goes, you do? So you schlong through an airport wearing slippers? And Dorit's laughing, schlong to people, schlong, that sounds like a Jagaloo word, schlong. It's like, Dorit, calm down. We know everybody's nervous, but like, you're, you know, schlong. And Kathy goes, yes, because my feet were hurting. We love a comfortable queen or a king. Back in Aspen, Kyle, remember making fun of like, Kathy, you wore those shoes at the airport? You're like, yes. What if people recognize you? They don't. And he goes, Cecilia from Denver wants to know if you finally figured out how to DM Rick on Instagram yet. Because remember, she was leaving Instagram messages of like, Rick, help me. I need out of here immediately under photos on Instagram. And Kathy goes, yes. And Andy goes, now, wouldn't the best way to contact him be to text him? No, I think I did text him. And Kyle goes, and you did in the comment section. And Kathy's like, shut the fuck up, Kyle. I'm here. I will destroy you. They show a headline from Screen Rant. Kathy Hilton begs husband Rick to help her, and now deleted IG photo. And I love this, you guys. This is when I was like, damn, Kathy is, because like there's that thing of Kathy can be ditzy, and I don't think it's a complete act, but at the same time, people also have to realize this is a lethal weapon. This is a knife that has been sharpened. And Kathy goes, Kyle goes, and you did the comment section. And Kathy goes, in the comment section. And Kyle goes, yeah, she thinks texting in the comment section is the same. And that Kathy goes, yeah, but then I did what Lisa Rinna does, and I took it off 20 minutes later. Boom! Ba, 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 da, 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 da. It's called a mic drop from Kathy Hilton, and Rinna is freaking the fuck out. Because that's what Rinna does, you guys. She puts it out there. A lot of celebrities will do this, Kardashians and all that stuff. Put it out. They know enough people will see it really quickly to screenshot it and then pass it around. And then it's kind of like, the legend of, the rumor of. Even Rinna got it that this past weekend to Patrick Summers, where there was a rumor that she had put a photo of her with a gun and saying, I'm looking for you, Patrick, or something. And we talked about it on the podcast on Monday. I still don't have confirmation if that was her or not. I don't think it was, but that just shows you the pattern, though, is that we could have been convinced it was because she does it a lot. So I was like, damn, like Kathy succinctly got that slam in. And Andy goes, oh, you deleted it. And Kathy, smiling, shakes her head yes at Rinna. And Andy goes, got it. Well, after Kathy's avalanche of a meltdown in Aspen, Lisa and Erica refused to let it bury them, even if it strained their friendship with Kyle and damaged Kyle. like listen, even if it strained the friendship with Kyle and completely destroyed Kyle and Kathy, actual family members' relationship. Take a look. We see the logo of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Instagram Live for E! Entertainment, which our friend old Donald, Prima Donald, who I got to meet, who works for Watch Out of Heaven's Live, he's the guy that is in this interview. And he's the after show host. And he's like, Kathy, you just all went you just went on a trip to Aspen. And Kathy's like, well, I want to clear something up. I just read I was screaming and throwing things. That is not me. And then we see Rinna at the cowboy hat shop going, can I try a little shot of that 818 tequila? I want to see what it tastes like, my friend. It's my friend Kendall Jenner's tequila. Kathy goes, I cannot fucking believe what she just said. Kathy leaving the shop. I am fucking pissed off. Kendall Jenner tequila. Kyle in a talking head says, once Kathy's mad, it's hard to turn that around. Listen, yeah, we all saw that. And also that really does show you that these are real relationships. Kyle is saying once Kathy's mad, she's not coming back from, like, Kyle knows that is her big sister. Kyle knows exactly what Kathy is like. And I feel like in a way, it's like Rinna just kind of poking the bear a little bit. I'm sorry. I just don't believe Rinna was oblivious in all of this stuff. So Kyle's like, guys, we could go to the Caribou Club for 5 minutes just to see it. I love that we've now turned Caribou Club into fucking like that shitty bar on Sunset now, like Saddle Ranch, where all the TikTokers. By the way, Saddle Ranch has been there forever. Like even when I was in my 20s, and it's still around. But like Caribou Club is now that place where people will just go to be like, I asked for Michael Jackson and then did a slur just like Kathy to the DJ allegedly. Eric in a talking head goes,
Kyle wants to go one more bar. What could possibly happen?
Sutton in a talking head goes, Kathy, she's a little off. And then Diana goes, I just saw her completely raging, screaming at the girls and mostly at Kyle. I miss my Asher. I love him. Good singer. Rinna in a talking head goes, we get back to Kyle's house and it's just the two of us and it gets worse. Again, text message from Lisa Rinna to Erica. Sunday, January 30th, 12:14 a.m. I got in a Springer with Kathy and she had an absolutely meltdown. I've never heard or seen anything like it in my life. And my daughter Amelia shaved her eyebrows and I've still never seen anything like it. Anger, screaming, throwing things, crying. I'm locked in my room. And Erica's like, oh my God, the hatred that just came out of her towards your sister. I'm speechless. Erica, wow. Rinna, by the way, is this how Erica sexts? Like, OMG, like a dick pic? Wow. Also, like, honestly, think about the reality of this situation. Rinna's texting this stuff, and Erica's just like, OMG. Like, even like, I would be like, for real? What else happened? She's like, wow. Like, come on. That doesn't make sense to me. Rinna Natanya goes, the most vilest things come out of that human being. And I know because it's usually me, but it was about her very own sister. She said, I will destroy Kyle and her family if it's the last thing I'll ever do. During the recap viewing, by the way, they have a little reaction box of Kathy Hilton that I fell in love with. And I was like, damn it. I need a Kathy Hilton reaction box in every TV show, not even just Real Housewives. I want it on Yellowstone, American Horror Story, reruns of The Office. I want it on C-SPAN. I want a Kathy Hilton reaction box in every fucking thing I watch from here until the end of time, because it was amazing to Kathy, like watching these and like, that's not true. I'll fucking kill you, Rinna. Please stop. Kathy speaks up. We see the box and she speaks over directly to Rinna and goes, do you want to swear on your life on the Bible about that? Like, and that's in the little reaction box. And Rinna just stares at her. And then Dorit at Erica's hair party. This is far more about Kathy and Kyle than it is about anything else. You were a witness, Lisa. I was a witness to a car crash. It was a really bad car accident. Then Rinna at Kyle's end of the season charity event. I'm not going to take it to my grave because I'd get sick and get cancer. That's how bad it is to have these things kind of go on and not express them. And Kyle's like, you're only punishing me, just so you know.
I'm sorry, hold on. Your sister's punishing you.
That's right. Your sister's punishing you. We don't have to beat a dead horse with cancer to say that it's really fucking stupid to say that holding things in will give you cancer. I understand it, but like, fuck you. Like, really, now's not the time to make, like, I just, you know, from all the shit my mom's going through, like, listen, I almost called my mom today and was like, Mom, will you do a bit with me where you'll tell me the secret you've been holding back that gave you cancer? Like, fuck off. Like, honestly, that's like, this is where it goes too far for me. And I know that's like a personal thing, but it goes too far for me with this because this is the kind of fucking bullshit she pulls that then you have no sympathy for. Because I can go with you that Kathy had a meltdown. I could potentially go with you that Kathy said a slur. I can go with you that Kathy said that she's going to destroy her sister, because I'm sure she said that many times, and I'm sure Kim said it. I'm sure Kyle said, I'm sure all of that. But when you say bullshit like this, it makes me want to go so far away from you because you're ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And shit like that does not help your case at all. At all. It just doesn't. Like, I'm never going to be like, well, that Rinna made a lot of sense this season. No, you make yourself more ridiculous than the event that you're trying to punish Kathy for. And you're putting yourself as one of the stars of the show when you just decided to ride in a Sprinter van with her. And I'm sorry, but Kathy is right. You do this all the time. This is part of your playbook, and it's worked a lot of the times. But do you like, just think about it? Like, has anybody been like, I've really enjoyed watching the Rinna lip kit launch season after season. That has been very rewarding for me, the viewer. It has been rewarding for me to watch Amelia get an apartment on the first floor because she could not live on the second floor. It has been rewarding for me for Harry to put potable water in the backyard in case of emergencies. These are fun stories for you to have as a storyline. Kyle, when getting Kathy's apology, goes, when I hear you talk like that and the things you said, I feel like you hate me or something. And Kathy goes, come here, come here. Sister's got a hug. Come on. I'm so proud of you, Kyle. Do you hear me? I love you so much. That was in the scene with them. And then Rinna shows up and Andy goes, all right, lots to digest. I love when Andy's like, all right, lots to digest, lots to discuss. Where do we start? Where do we start? And Kathy goes, yes. And Andy goes, okay, I want to start with the tequila. Reality TV babe 00. I always like this. Butt Muncher 23 on Twitter said, riddle me this. Why can't Kathy promote her tequila? We've heard about Rinna's lips and wine, Dorit's swim and bridal wear, Kyle's stores, Asher's music, whatever the hell Erica is doing. And the list could go on and on. Ladies, how do you respond? Were you too tough on her with the tequila? And Kathy goes, listen, I did not know there was other footage of the tequila, but my feeling is that they're not going to catch it because it wasn't like cameras were just on me. Let me explain a little bit about how filming works. So even this is reality, but they film a scene. They're like, okay, they have call times. You're like, these actors like, okay, we're shooting a scene between Ariana and Tom. The camera crew's going to show up at 7, set up the lights, and we're going to film you guys doing this at 8 o'clock. That's how this shit works. So Kathy could be telling the truth here in the sense of like, she is coming in and bringing her tequila, but she doesn't think that's what the scene focuses on. Kathy wants a fucking scene where everybody's doing a shot and going, Kathy, this tequila tastes like candy. I love it. So we see a clip at Dorit's Homeless Not Toothless event with Dorit reading Kathy, and Kathy goes, Happy New Year. Here's the tequila you like. And Dorit goes, somebody did send me some pink tequila. And Kathy goes, maybe it's us. Kathy to Diana at her holiday party. I want everybody to try this. Kathy at the Aspen house. Attention, ladies. I thought we would do like a little bottoms up. And Erica goes, no. And Rinna grabs her head and groans, oh no. Erica and Rinna are, what the fuck? Like literally, Rinna Rose, what if Rinna, like literally, we were all grabbing our heads and groaning and we hadn't even tasted Rinna Rose at home. Like, isn't that kind of shitty? But it also, with the theory of, by the way, if something happens to me tomorrow, if I'm not on this planet, just know I spoke too much truth about the Beverly Hills reunion. Spoke to when you speak truth like this, man, things happen, dude. People are after me, man. I gotta go, dude. You never know. But remember, Kathy showed up mid-season, so I really do feel like there's that like, well, fuck Kathy. She doesn't get like 5 plugs for her product. And he goes, you wanted to get your tequila on the show. It's not a big deal. And Kathy goes, right. So when it comes to Como Sabe, and Kyle's like, Kimosabi. It's her favorite hat store. So you're like, how dare you call it Komosabi? It's Kimosabi. And Kathy goes, Kamosabi, Kumo, whatever. Okay. When we're by the way, this is the thing that upset Kyle the most this season. It's Kemosabe, damn it. It's a hat store. They sell the best damn hats this side of the Mississippi, and you are making me look like an idiot by calling it Kemosabe. So Kathy goes, well, I'm thinking, we're leaving. And in my mind, Kyle's, sweet. She's having, like going to do a little tasting here because the 4 bottles of my tequila were there. And Andy goes, let me ask you this. When you heard Lisa Rinna order the Kendall Jenner tequila, did that piss you off? Not at her. I was angry at Kyle because I put it, I had put it in her head, that I shouldn't put things in, because I put it in my head, that I shouldn't put things in my head and thinking and then get disappointed. And what she says makes a lot of sense, because like we kind of, and I'm not trying to defend Kathy here, but think about what she's saying, and especially around family members, we kind of have this natural reaction on how we expect them to react. So when they don't react, or when they don't read our minds, I used to do that in my marriage of like, just tell me what to do. Just tell me what you want me to do. Even chore wise, because I don't know, and don't think I'm sitting here just not doing it. I sometimes need to be told because I'm a fucking dunce, and that Kathy in this situation thinks that Kyle should just know. I'm her sister. She should know that my tequila should be promoted. So I understand Kathy, but it's also unfair to do with Kyle. And this is where you can tell it's a real family dynamic, because this shit happens with families all the time. And Andy goes, you were mad at Kyle, thinking, and Kathy goes, and now I'm embarrassed at myself. And Kyle goes, what was I supposed to say to her? You're not allowed to order a different tequila? No, I'm disappointed because I overthought this, thinking this was a little thing for me. And Renee goes, I want to explain. Can I just jump in a little? I want to explain this. I have been very supportive of Kathy's tequila. And Kathy goes, yes, I think she knows that. I've had it on camera at Diana's. I loved it. I talk about it all the time. So the way it played out, I'm sorry if it hurt Kathy's feelings. It was never my intention to do that. Kathy goes, no, I thought that. I was disappointed by expecting something bigger. So honestly, Kyle goes, so it's my fault. It's my fault. No, honey. And Kyle crying. No, it was my fault. Like everything always fucking is. And I don't care that I'm saying the F word. I didn't do anything. I literally didn't know anything. I love hats. Kemosabe is the best store I've ever seen in my life. I was just trying to host my party. We didn't even know it was going to be there. I went up to the bar. I love Kemosabe hats. And Kathy's like, Kyle, it's nothing to be crying about. And Kyle goes, it is, Kathy. It's not fair the way you treated me like that. It's not right. You got mad at me. Kyle, I apologize to you, but I was trying to let you know where my mind was at. And you're saying I was upset at Kyle. No, it's my fault. And Andy goes, I do just want to say this. You were mad at Rinna for ordering the 818. This is just so weird, because like Kyle did know what was going on that day. She saw it, but is it one of those things where she was in ecstasy being at her favorite hat store, the liquor was flowing, and also there's that part of her that kind of wants to see maybe her sister get pushed a little bit around with production, that little part of, that little gremlin voice of like, well, Kathy's always been my bigger sister, but I'm the big sister around these parts. 12 seasons, baby. I'm just like, is there a little part of her that you think might have done, and especially when you've had a shot or two and you're at your favorite hat store looking sexy in all these hats. It's me, Frenchie, the hat Kyle loves. If you're tuning in for the first time, I used to do a voice of one of Kyle's hats. It's won Emmys, so whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there is that little part of maybe Kyle was feeling herself a little bit that day. Maybe she did. She was aware that Kathy's feelings were hurt and that Rinna did it. And Kyle didn't stick up for Kathy. And now she's crying like a baby because she's afraid of her sister. I mean, what we can all agree on, I think, is what we see the family dynamic is that she truly is scared of Kathy. And I feel like we should all be scared of Kathy, honestly. Like I told you, I met her at that DirecTV thing. I was a very interesting energy. And I'm a scaredy cat anyway. So I was already, but I was just like, oh shit. Like it wasn't like, ha, 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 ha. All right, I've loved your beams since the blah, 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 blah. It was just odd. Not bad, just odd. It's hard to explain. I'm trying to find a good way to explain it. But also Kyle is so immediately coming out of the gate with the tears and all that stuff already, where it's like, Kyle, pump the brakes for a second. The majority of this issue doesn't involve you. Like, don't bring up your whole relationship with your sister when we're trying to get into the rinna of it all. They show a clip at Kimosabi where Kyle's having an orgasm, and Kathy DeSutton and Garcelle in her sarcastic rinna voice, I want to try and tequila. Kathy goes, but I didn't think she did it on purpose, is my point to you. Sure, it annoyed me. And Andy goes, okay, moving on. I want to talk about the final night in Aspen when you all went clubbing. Kathy, what happened that night that kind of sent you over the edge? Well, okay, so I was thinking, all right, I want everybody to have fun. Remember, you guys, Kathy was in her PJs, and she's like, I go over to the DJ. He's got headphones. He's looking down. He doesn't see me. So I get frustrated. I go back into the room and there's a manager. And I say, if I give you some money, would you put on some songs for us, my friends and I, to dance? And he said, no, it's way too busy in here. Not tonight, not tonight. And I said, really? I'm not a member, but for 30 years that I've come here off and on, they have taken a request, as they do in the south of France and in London or in Paris. And I think that annoyed him. So he looked at me and said, where are you from? And I said, LA. And he goes, then go back to LA. So I go, we're out of here. So I go over to Kyle, tell her what happened. And Andy goes, wanted to stay. There's a reason behind that. No, it's Kyle. Sorry. It was Kyle. Kyle goes, there's a reason behind that. I was wearing a Kimosabi hat. I wanted to dance with it. And he goes, Kathy, it's the way you speak to me. You come up and you didn't say, this guy just hurt my feelings. I'm so embarrassed. You said, we are out of here. Everybody saw. Okay. Once again, we're talking like two different issues here, right? Because Kyle is once again bringing in the entirety of their relationship as sisters of like, this is the way you speak to me since we were kids, and it's not cool, and I'm embarrassed, and I have a sexy hat on, and I'm here to dance. And you know, it is like, could you play some Michael Jackson? Miss Kathy, thank you for requesting me at Caribou Club, Miss Kathy. Whoo, Shamon. Miss Kathy, how dare the DJ not play MJ? King of Pop. Woo! But that's what it was. And I will say, I've been a manager, a general manager at a nightclub. And I will say, one, DJs fucking hate requests. I've seen it. I used to see it firsthand where I would just warn, like, you know, it's like they like money, but they also like to be left alone. Also, I was a GM, and like that GM, like they must be real snooty in Aspen, or he must have bad vision, because at a certain point, even if you are a hot nightclub, there is still a certain level of respect, not only just for rich people, but for rich people of note. So I'm kind of shocked that it was even snottier than that. Like, is this just for billionaires? Because if you're a general manager, like I knew when there was a pseudo celebrity or even a celebrity in there. I mean, there were times where Mariah Carey got like carried, like Christina Aguilera got hammered in our bar a couple of times where she got carried out. Like you were very aware when celebrities were there, and you didn't kiss their ass, but you definitely did not make them feel not wanted, you know? But I will say DJs do not like requests. But when she went to the manager, I would think the manager would be a little more cool. And that's why this part of it doesn't make sense to me. And I can almost, what like Chef Sue say, like, this F word said this, we're out of here. You know, like, fuck this guy. You know, like I could see a slur being said here. Now, I don't, this is just me. Two things can be true at once, guys. So Kathy goes, I know. And Kyle goes, and you looked at me and said, you'll fucking leave with me now. And I was like, hold on a minute, Kathy. I'm not proud of that. I'm an adult with a big Kimosabi hat on. You can't talk to me like that. I'm expecting me to say, oh, okay. And Andy goes, what did you guys see? Erica drops her head hard and lets out a hard sigh. Which is also when she's riding a dick. No, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm disgusting. Erica goes,
I see Kathy coming from the dance floor, very upset.
Can anybody get me pictures of, I know you can't get pictures in there. I want to see the dance floor of Caribou Club. Can somebody find me an image of the dance floor? Because I want to actually, like, I want to make some kind of animation of this. Of like,
I see Kathy coming from the dance floor, smoke just coming out of my ears. I say to Kathy, what's wrong? She says, the DJ's an old fucking beep, and she walks off.
Come on, how much did the DJ make to keep quiet? And also like old fucking bleep. That's where the F slur would have come in. Kathy looks at Erica with a pained look of disbelief. Erica goes,
That is what happened.
and Kathy goes, I will admit to what I do, but I will not be painted to be this monster that you try to.
Those are your words. That's what you said to me.
Never even, never, ever. Well, I'm just telling you. I didn't hear that. My name is Dorit. Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop, boop. And Eric goes,
I'm just telling you.
Nobody else heard that.
No, you said it to me directly.
Anyone who knows me knows I don't talk like that.
Kathy, and anyone who knows me knows I'm not lying.
This is where I'm like, Erica, calm it down a little bit. Like, come on, we all think you're kind of a liar. Maybe not about everything, but like they're like, let's just say when I think of truth, I don't think Erica Jane. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like, who's always going to tell the truth? That Erica Jane. Like, that's why I'm like, the bizarre opinions they have of themselves are sometimes earth shattering, where I'm like, wow, what it must be like to be this into yourself and to think you're this good of a person when you're barely hanging on to just your basic levels of being a nice person. So Kathy goes, oh, really?
Yeah, really.
I have a little more credibility than you. And Garcelle can't help but smile at that a little bit. And Erica,
really?
Uh-huh, because I don't lie. I have a sterling reputation. I put caviar on baked potatoes.
Not right now, you don't.
Well, I'm not going to. And Andy goes, there was also an investigation into this, and it came down to a case of she said. It was inconclusive. Eric goes,
yeah, no doubt.
And Kathy goes, who investigated? And Andy goes, HR. And Garcelle goes, oh, wow. And Andy goes, yeah. So, I mean, this was kind of an oh, wow moment, is that they do have an HR department. Remember, this is a corporation. It's not just Bravo, it's NBC Universal. These are big accusations. This is what Ebony K. Williams was talking about on her podcast last week about Ramona Singer. There were accusations against Ramona using slurs and things like that. And there were complaints filed. These things actually do. That's why the stuff with I wonder, since it's off season, like, do they investigate the woke stan Twitter account? Do they investigate things like this? Do they investigate the behind the scenes stuff, because they investigated this? So now it's very interesting, because it paints an even clearer picture for us that it was Erica Jane to Kathy Hilton. Now, this is where it gets even more interesting if you think about it. So Erica Jane stays there. Lisa Rinna goes in the Sprinter van with Kathy. But we get leaks on both aspects of that night. So Kathy Hilton only tells Erica Jane the F slur, right?
You said it to me directly.
Nobody else heard that. But then she goes with Rinna and does the explosion, blah, 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 blah. Both things were leaked. The Erica and the Rinna. You know what I'm saying? Do you see, like, I mean, like, both of those things were leaked, and one of them was only told to one person. So that's, we know definitely Erica was the person, and Rinna was probably right there to back her up with the other stuff. So there you go. So Kathy goes, isn't it interesting? Nothing came out in the press about Erica walking around with the big $250,000 Cartier ring
that I've had for years,
going around with a big crocodile bag, a fur coat
that I've had for 20 years.
That are not yours.
They're not mine.
They're not your belongings.
How do you know that?
Everybody knows that, and you have no remorse at all.
Wow, look at you trying to save yourself.
Well, I'm just saying to you.
No, listen, actually, I bought that coat in Aspen many years ago. It's from the Gap. No, the Gucci purse is very old.
Kyle goes, I just want to be clear, because I haven't heard my name in a while. Kimosabi is a great hat store. And I have never heard Kathy say that word. Just to be clear, I've never heard it. Like, Kyle, okay. And Kathy goes, I don't talk like that. And I will say Kathy has raised a lot of money for LGBTQ fundraisers. It doesn't mean she did not use that slur, but I will say she has raised and donated a lot of money and has a very strong, powerful gay fan base. So that, on behalf of them, I have a really good friend, Logan, who, I think was very, or she, he's like, I support the one that doesn't say the F slur. And that's why I asked Chef Stu in the interview earlier about that, because these things can't be accepted. These things can't be just joked about. I don't go around to my straight friends and go, oh, that flaming F word. No, fuck that. I have too many gay friends and I have too much respect for them to ever do that. I don't get mad and call somebody the F slur. I call them a stupid piece of shit, just like normal people should. But you know what I'm saying? So Kathy goes, Eric goes,
You talk like that night.
and he goes, so that's what you saw. So Lisa, you say to Kathy, I'm going to take you out. Yeah, because she's making a scene. I'm like, Rena, who's taking you out when you've been making a scene? Crystal goes, well, I texted the cars and Crystal and I are going to take her out. And Andy goes, so you went too, Crystal. But Crystal goes, but I couldn't get out because of our coats. And Andy goes, okay, so you and Kathy leave and you go back to the house. Well, we get in the Sprinter van first. So really where it started was in the Sprinter van. Also, DJ Mark, Moose, I don't know if you listen anymore, but you tagged or tweeted at me or something and said it was an Uber. Well, right here, we're hearing it's a Sprinter van. So I think that information that you got was correct, or they're even lying right here. So he goes, okay, so they get in the Sprinter van first. So really where it started was the Sprinter van. And Andy goes, what started? Kathy's meltdown. Kathy screaming and yelling and venting and hip hop arraying and saying things that I've never heard in my life. Wait, did she say I love you? Ah! She's never heard in her life. And he goes, this you recall. And Kathy goes, I recall venting, thinking that we've known each other for a long time and this is not being filmed. And I felt that I could talk to you. And, halfway through it, do you recall saying to me? And she does a sarcastic Rena voice. She goes, I get it. I get it. I love Kathy Hilton's imitations, by the way. Kathy Hilton has a future in podcasting. My God, the Watch What Crappens guys, they've got to be scared, because this Kathy, if she gets her hands on like Potomac or Southern Charm, we're all done for. If they start recapping, we're fucked. If Kathy recaps something, we're fucked. She goes, I get it. I get it. You're preaching to the choir. Do you remember those words? Because that's exactly what we said. Rena would have been encouraging Kathy, let the hate out, feel the evil, come to the dark side. And Rena goes, and you could tell she's kind of like for a hair caught off guard. And Kathy goes, do you remember those words? I don't exactly know. Exactly. But you want to take down NBC, Bravo, Evolution, the show? I'm going to get Kyle fired because, Lisa, I'm just telling you that is not true. Do you want me to tell the truth? That is not true. And Andy goes, Lisa, here are some of the things that you claim Kathy said to you in Aspen that I heard Kathy say to me. And he goes, okay. Quote, Dorit is a stupid, useless idiot. Dorit goes, oh, zoinks. Dorit makes a shocked face. PK is at home and is like, it's fair. It's fair. That's a fair, Bob. Quote, Crystal and Sutton are pieces of shit. Those idiots should be fired. Can't believe I have to be around these fucking peons. They need to go. I'm sorry, it's not funny. They need to go away. And Kathy goes, I am going to make you are going to take a lie detector test. I wish Kathy had beefy bodyguards. Like, we're strapping you right down here now, Rena, and we're getting into the octagon. Let's go. And Andy goes, quote, I have to do everything around here. This is my show. I have big deals over at NBC. Everyone's protecting me. I'll take NBC, Bravo. I'll take down the show. I will destroy Kyle and her family if it's the last thing I ever do. Really, honestly, if you think about this in terms of just even an angry monologue, it doesn't completely make sense, because it's just, even in anger, you have, it's just, Kathy's spoken so well in this reunion, even angry, that I was like, okay. And she does have a deal with the, NBC. Remember, she was part of the Paris Hilton Peacock show. Okay, so great. Everyone's protecting me. So I do think Bravo and NBC do protect somebody like Kathy Hilton, because Kathy Hilton is a prestige client that is only a friend of you guys. She's not even a full-time housewife. And Garcelle's like, oof, that was tough to hear. And Andy goes, Kathy, do you remember saying any of those things? No, I don't. All of that? No, I don't. It was so heartbreaking. You'd have to have a heart. I mean, Kathy goes, Lisa, I know you're having problems. And I'm like, oh shit. And Rena's like, I'm having problems. What kind of problems am I having? Well, I hear you're backed up and you cannot take the shit. No. And Kathy goes, I don't know. And also, I would like to talk about the text. Now, this is where Kathy falters a little bit, right? Because she goes, Lisa, I know you're having problems. And Rena's like, what kind of problems? And Kathy kind of fails. She goes, I don't know. Like, so she wasn't ready for that one. And then one more time, we get this text from Kathy to Rena of like, please do not say anything we discussed. Otherwise, it will make a huge scene that everyone gets dragged into. No bueno. Bueno spelled wrong. Please, it goes farther than you would want to know. Silence is golden. I am staying silent. 4 heart emojis. Bam, 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 bam. And Rena goes, what text? Your text to me? And Kathy goes, yeah, guess what? It's not here. Oh, that I made it up. Well, it's not on my phone. And Erica goes,
You could have deleted it.
by the way, Erica, probably involved in 80 billion cases, shouldn't be the one to be like,
You can delete text messages. I've done it so much.
and Kathy goes, and you know what I would like to do? And Andy goes, well, show me your text from Kathy. And Renee goes, I'll show you right here. And Andy goes, well, here's the text she's talking about. I didn't want to go here. I didn't want to go. Yeah, you did want to go here. You fucking are sitting right behind you is a big fucking manila folder of receipts. You didn't want to go there. Where were you going? What's over there? I got a roadmap to a Chili's in there. Where are you going? Kathy goes, yeah, you did. And Renee goes, I had to lock myself in the bedroom. I was so scared. And Kathy goes, I don't know why you would have to lock the door. Because you were having a psychotic break. How would you think I would feel to hear you want to destroy your sister? Frankly, Rena, I would think you would actually kind of feel excited because you'd be like, this is good content. In fact, if anything, I think you'd probably be bummed because like there might not have been cameras to catch it. There's no part of me that would think like, oh my God, I feel so bad for Kyle. Like, where were you feeling bad for Kyle when you came out that's hard at Kim? Like, this makes no sense. Don't try to paint yourself as somebody that actually fucking cares for their friends when we have all of this film behavior of you not doing that. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't treat me like an idiot. Don't treat us like an idiot. And Kathy goes, I never said that. And Kyle goes, I also don't want to hear it if it's going to destroy my family. And Rena goes, Kathy. And Kathy goes, I never said that. I said other things. And Rena goes, tell us what you said that night, Kathy. I feel dismissed. I feel like Kyle hates me sometimes. You didn't throw your glasses off and stamp on them. And Kathy goes, I wouldn't throw them because you know what? And Andy goes, you need them. I need them. And Renee goes, yeah, we just threw them down and you were stomping on them and you were pounding the walls. And Kathy goes, my glasses are actually in the dressing room. So if you want to look at them, by the way, I would have fucking, if I was Andy, of like, we need a camera crew in that dressing room immediately. Let's bring these glasses out. Cause I would have been doing fucking DNA testing on the scrapes. I would have been like, okay, there's a Kimosabe hat fiber in here. She was wearing Timberlands that night. This footprint matches up exactly with this glass. You know, I would like, let's fucking get into it if we're going to get into it. And Kyle's like, my issue with this is that it got out from the group to, you know, outside to Bravo Instagrammers. And it just made our life more difficult, you know? And that's really what the issue is this all happened, you guys, but it got out. This shouldn't have gone out. And it also makes you wonder how many other things have happened like this that haven't gotten out, because it makes it seem like this has happened before and things haven't gotten out. And the real issue is not that this happened, but that it got out. That's the part that's interesting to me. Flashback to Kyle's charity event, and Sutton's like, well, did either of you leak to the press any of this information about Kathy? I say, no. And Kyle's like, it was someone who works for you.
Interesting.
And he goes, the accusation was made, what happened in Aspen was leaked to the press. It was made that it came from you, Erica.
Right. First off, Jack, my publicist has represented Nikki for years.
I don't think he would do it.
For years.
And he goes, was there any part of you that wanted this out there in order to?
No. I wanted us to discuss it here because that's where the group is.
Bullshit. Remember when you were at the fucking chocolate factory with Dorit with your stupid little hats on and you were like, and like, you know, like, I'm not going to be your women boy. And then that conversation with Diana was like,
if everybody gonna talk about Eric and Jay, we're gonna have to talk about everybody else.
Remember that? Of course you wanted it out. And Garcelle says, but nothing stays here anymore. Everything's on social media. Yes, right. I understand that. And Garcelle goes, but Lisa, you're doing most of it. I don't do most of it. It's Harry. And Garcelle goes, yes, you do. And Renee goes, when I got home on Sunday from Aspen. And Garcelle goes, okay. Because remember, we were in a club with 200 people. Yeah, Garcelle says, I got a call from someone at TMZ. Me, Lisa Rinna, getting a good old call. I was like, hello, it's Lisa Rinna. And they're like, this is TMZ. TMZ. I know you guys. You're in the World Wide Web asking about what happened in the club to little old Lisa Rinna. So they already knew. They already knew something had gone down. Yes, they fucking knew something had gone down. They knew the slur because of Erica Jane. Kyle says, am I upset it's out there? 100%. I wish it never got out there. And Kathy goes, well, what happened was I apologized to Kyle. I go over to her house. I decided I'm going to make Kyle happy and I'm going to apologize to her on camera. I love that. Like, I'm going to make her happy and just do my little song and dance for the camera. And they show us Kathy coming over and she's wearing the Peace t-shirt, which, by the way, one of the baddies out there is dressing as Kathy Hilton for Halloween and got that Peace t-shirt, which I guess like is $40. And I was like, that is kind of a funny costume for a very specific crowd. They show Kathy coming in like, howdy, ma'am. I picked these flowers for you. Just came from the Ponderosa all the way from Cartwright City to apologize to my sister. And Kathy's like, and then she says, oh, wait a minute. You also have to apologize to Lisa. And then back again with Kyle that day saying, Rinna's coming in a little while. Oh, good. So if you want to talk to her in person, you can hang around. Yeah, I would love to. And Kyle freaks out. I'm getting blamed for that too. And Kathy's like, I tried calling you to Rinna. Kyle goes, I gave you the option. Why apologize to her, though? Because you did it to me. You did it to Lisa Rinna. You made me hear your hate, your vitriol. Usually it's me spewing the hate, but you made me hear your hate. And Kathy goes, I tried calling you. I was willing to call you on the phone. You wanted it on camera. Baby, you wanted it on camera because your contract was coming up. And Erica's like, oh my God. And Garcelle goes, woo. And everybody's like making faces because we actually have now broken the fourth wall and admitted that these people get paid for what you see. And it's fucking true, this part too. Your contract is coming up. You did want it on camera. This wasn't something that Rinna did not want filmed. Like, two things can be true at one time, people. Remember, this is a game of stupid chess. And Kathy's like, and you needed some drama because you fight with everybody. I don't need any drama. You drove Lisa Vanderpump off the show. Oh, Lisa Vanderpump off the show. Okay. What you did to my sister? Flashback to Amsterdam. You'll never go near my husband because I can't even find him. He's on solo camping trips. And Brandy's like, no, no, no. And Kim's like, everybody knows. And Brandy goes, don't you ever go after my husband, and throws the mask glass everywhere. And Kathy's like, you've had problems with everybody. Camille Grammer. I mean, the list can go on and on. And then saying that you get bullied, you're the biggest bully in Hollywood and everybody knows it. First off, don't give Lisa a compliment like that because she's like, she just wants to be the biggest of anything. Also, I would say if I would to critique, and that's kind of what I do, that's why I get paid poorly to do, is I would say what you should have said, Kathy, you're the biggest bully on Housewives. Hollywood is almost too big, and it almost gives her too much credit. Like, usually you're the biggest bully in Housewives history, but don't do Hollywood because then she's like, wow, it's like Hollywood. It's like movie stars and singers. They're all apart. And Lisa Rinna, the biggest of something. That's very exciting. And Rinna's like, is that right? And Kathy goes, yeah, you are. You're mean. Oh. And you don't tell the truth. Wow, this is so sad. So sad. And Andy goes, okay, no, it's not sad. You brought this on yourself. And Renee goes, no, you brought it on yourself, my sweet dear. You did. And at this point, like the floor is opening up. We see the lava, just red flames. The pits of hell have opened up beneath Lisa. And she's like, this is between you two. You need to work it out. Like, all of a sudden, Renee's like, this is between two sisters. What am I even doing? It's not even about me. Like, all this. I mean, this is like, what a pussy. And then he goes, okay, let me hold on. And Garcelle goes, if it's between the two of them, then why is she in the middle? And someone's like, I know. I just want to wear my cat's widow and talk to Sanjit. And Kathy is Kathy's like, you know what? I wish you had said that to me that night. Why didn't you just say, Kathy, you and Kyle love each other. You're sisters. I'm going to go to bed now and I'm going to go take a dump and go to bed. You were yelling too loud. I tried to say that. I'm not yelling at you, but to say people are useless or anything about any one of these girls, you said all of that. I swear to God on my life, you did. And you said you wanted to ruin NBC. There could be made an argument, folks, that NBC kind of ruined itself after their Thursday night lineup fell apart in the 90s. The Cosby Show into Friends, or Seinfeld and then into Friends. And of course, you had the powerhouse of ER on a Thursday night. NBC and a lot of broadcast networks kind of ruined themselves. For Kathy would never have the power to ruin somebody that ruins themselves, which NBC has done. And Kathy's like, Lisa, you're grasping at straws. I'm not. And if I were, they wouldn't be biodegradable. And Garcelle's like, what I want to know is if it's between Kathy and Kyle, then leave her alone. Well, she attacked me in the house in Aspen. And Kathy goes, attacked you? Well, she abused me. It was abusive, screaming and yelling at me. Abuse doesn't have to be hitting somebody. And Garcelle's like, no, I know. I'm just saying. Another point to be made here, too, is that Crystal said that she was abused, but they all like hopped down Crystal's throat about this. But now Lisa Rinna can be abused. Also, Lisa Rinna, no doubt in my mind, was like, yes, Kathy, you're totally right. Kyle is a fucking bitch with stupid tastes and hats. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Abusing me. You're the one that chose to go with her, numbnuts. So Andy goes, but you've screamed and yelled at people, Lisa. So? And Sutton squeezes her eyes shut, like, make me a bird so I can fly far, far away. I say, make me a bird so I can fly far, far away. It's raining around Billy's arms. I say. And Andy's like, if you're going to say, Garcelle goes, but you're going to hurt her, and she's the one that's your friend. But that's what I was going to say. If she wants to move on, she doesn't want to know the specifics, Rinna. She wants to be sisters with her sister. Yeah. Andy goes, so then how do you then let it go? Well, I let it go right here and now. And Kathy goes, would you really, though? This is where I'm like, don't fucking ever trust Lisa Rinna. Like, do you want to shake on it? What about a pinky swear? What if we cut ourselves and then we became blood sisters? Would you be willing to do that? Yes, I would. It's now on you two to work out whatever it is, and I will absolve myself from it from this day forward. I guarantee you that. I promise on Satan and all of his minions, and I wish you only the best. I really do. Thank you. This was the most ridiculous thing, because it was almost like, I thought of it two ways. Like, Rinna realized, oh, there's no way out of this. I have no way to even win at this point in any kind of way at all. So I should just give up. Or she was just like, hey, I guess we'll have to move to plan B on the internet after the reunion. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the two options that I had in my head. I don't know if you guys thought that as well. You're like, no, we didn't, Ryan. We just watched the show because we like it. You're a weirdo. And Kathy goes like, thank you. I love it. Like, oh, well, it's over. And Andy goes, I think people are questioning why you so dogmatically were trying to get in the middle of the sisters. I was traumatized by what happened in that house. I mean, that's your bottom line. It's an evil house. And Andy goes, with everything that you have seen on the show, that was the thing that traumatized you. This was in the dark. And Kathy goes, in the dark, we were sitting in Erica's room right by the front door. You had just taken a huge dookie and lit a match. There was lights everywhere. I was seeing stars just from the smell. Right. And he goes, seriously, you've seen some shit on the show. And Kathy's like, it was a bright light. And we're like, it was like a 40-watt bulb. And Renee goes, it affected me fucking deeply. Yeah, way worse than Kim. Nothing close to Kim. And Andy goes, okay. So if you really want to go there, I saw the devil. You were a fucking monster, and that was that. And that's what I said. I said, like, how many mirrors do you think in Kyle's Aspen's house? Because Rinna's had to have got a reflection of herself. But, like, come on. This is where it's like the cancer thing. Don't, like, if you say you're going to drop it here and there, it's not the next breath you go, you're the devil. You drop it. You don't fucking pour gasoline on it. Like, what are you doing, lady? My God, play the game, but play it well to some degree. You used to play this game so well, and you're so sloppy and just so fucking lead-footed on this thing. And Kyle goes, okay, please, you guys. And Andy goes, Okay, Kyle, were you upset with Lisa for bringing it onto the show? I'm sorry, I have a lump in my throat. I can't talk now. Give me a second, Andy. And like she like literally has this. And I'm like, Kyle, now's the time to step up, dude. Now's the time to step up. Like now's the time to be like, Kathy and me have had issues for years, but Lisa, don't fucking call my sister the devil. I should have stuck up for Kim better back in the day, but don't fucking go that way. Like this would have been a moment to actually be a sister to Kathy, even though Kathy has issues. Like, you know what I'm saying? Am I the only one who feels that way a little bit? Kyle goes, I feel very, put in the middle of this whole situation. Obviously, my sister's my sister. My feelings are very hurt. I feel like I always get the blame for things like in my family and kemosabe and things like that. Do they get paid every time they say kemosabe? I didn't fucking do anything. And then when this whole thing came out, it just made us worse and set us back. And the only one it hurts is me. I'm the one who gets fucked from you, from her. And now I'm like, Kyle, calm down. This ain't about you as much as you think it is. And he goes, so are you mad at Lisa for bringing this up on the show? And Kathy goes, why aren't you mad at Lisa? Obviously I'm mad. I'm upset that this came out, but I'm also upset with my sister because look where we are. Look where we are right now. And Kathy goes, not good. She should have said, no bueno. And Drew goes, but you're going to work through it. You're going to work through it. And at the end of the day, people, your blood and your family and you both love each other. And Kyle's like, I understand that. And Dre's like, so you have a few bumps in the road, people, but maybe it'll make you stronger. And Kyle's like, I'm tired of the fucking bumps. And it's like, Kyle, look at your life.
Look at me. Look at my life. Look at me. Look at my life.
That's Erica Jane from last season.
Look at me. Look at my life.
We should have Kyle with his mascara, like Erica Jane, like just dripping like an oil slick on her face. And it's like, yeah, Kyle, look at your life. Grow up. We're working through it. Kyle goes, it spills into the kids and their kids who I still love a lot. And Andy's like, I know that Paris has been liking a lot of tweets. And they flash a headline from Heavy saying, Paris Hilton slams Kyle Richards on Twitter. And Kyle goes, that hurt me a lot. And Andy goes, in your defense, Kathy goes, she's very protective over her mother. And Kyle goes, I need it in a better place here with her than before she came. And he goes, I would like to try to do that. How do you? Well, I don't know. Because of what? Because of what? Tell me. I don't want to talk about it. No, I'm asking you, Kathy. I don't want to talk about it, Kyle. Well, here's my question to you, Kathy. You've got Freier getting married in the spring. All right. I'm very happy for her. And Kyle goes, and your family will be there. Andy says, I'm sure. But she says it in a way where it's like, probably not. And Kyle goes, okay, why are you upset with me right now? Because I got upset. And Kathy sighs, oh, because you're acting like a martyr. Like it's just you. That's not fair to me. Guys, that's true. Kyle did act like a martyr in this moment. Kathy, like everybody's to blame on the stage. Like and by the way, we haven't heard a peep out of Sutton, really. We haven't had a peep out of Crystal. Dorit tries to throw in some lines with just varied results, but it's like the main show is just these 4 ladies, Erica, maybe a little bit. And Kyle's like, I'm sorry, I'm upset. I'm not acting like a martyr. And Kathy's like, that's not fair to me, Kyle. And Kyle's like, I'm sorry, I'm emotional. You also, okay, no, I think that I've had so much that's hurt me. And Drew goes, she wants you to accept a little bit of responsibility in this. I think Kyle. And Kathy goes, I thought we were going to have more to our relationship. And Kyle's like, can I talk to my sister? I'm sorry, I love you, Dorit. I just don't want you to interject in this right now. No problem. BK's like, God damn it, shut up, please. I need this relationship with Mauricio. And Kyle's like, thank you. I love you, Dorit, but really. And Dorit goes, listen, we're all waiting, like trying to move this along so I can talk about more of my things like Beverly Beach. What went wrong there? And Kyle goes, okay, great. So what is bothering you right now, Kathy? Because I have my own reasons for getting upset right now. Because I don't lie, number one. Okay. And you know that. And Kyle goes, yeah. Do you not know that or what? I don't talk bad about people. And Andy goes, maybe we'll simplify it. Kathy. And Kyle goes, are you talking about what they said? I don't know if you're paying attention. I said, I've never heard those words. And Kathy goes, I'm just shocked. And Renee goes, yeah, I was shocked too. Renee, shut the fuck up. We're not talking to you right now. Andy goes, all right, he's like, Renee, so Renee like, shut the fuck up. And Kyle goes, I will say this, all of that, and like the taunting on Instagram with her and all that stuff only hurts me. And Andy goes, well, I hope that the two of you can get. And Kathy goes, well, we're sisters. Come here. I love you. She pulls Kyle in for a hug, and Kyle half-heartedly gives her one back. And he goes, okay, we're going to leave it there, Kathy. Yes. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. I know this was not fun. And Kathy goes, oh, yeah, but I appreciate it. And we're going to be right back after this. There's a conversation between only Kathy and Kyle off air. And Kyle's like, I don't know why you're mad at me. I really don't. I think you know very well. And Kathy goes, yeah, you haven't said 2 words. Me? I don't want to talk about it. Once again, everything's my fault. And Andy goes, bye, Kathy. Bye-bye. And Kathy gets up and leaves, just vanishes. And Kyle goes, well, now literally it's completely done. It's completely done. So Kathy really expected her sister to say at least 2 words to stick up for her. That's really what she meant there. You didn't say 2 words. And that is true. Kyle just kept saying about like, what it really hurts is me. Like she was trying to get Rinna to stop because it hurts me in the end, and saying, instead of saying, please leave my sister alone. I really do think that's what Kathy wanted, some backup from Kyle. And, you know, Kyle was just there talking about herself the whole time. And by the way, that's what we all do. It's not, you know, it's not like a fatal flaw for Kyle. We do that about ourselves all the time. But Kyle never said out loud to Rinna, like, fuck you for doing this. Fuck you for putting it out there. And fuck one of you guys for leaking this shit. But even Dorit was viewing Kyle as being impossible to give in a little bit and accept responsibility and bend halfway. So the martyr thing, I think, is completely dead on. Backstage, Kathy's stylist is like, are you done? And she's like, nightmare. On stage, Rinna goes, are we getting a drink? Are we having a toast? And Kyle whispers to Garcelle, I really can't stay here right now. I can't do a fake toast. And Garcelle goes, oh, no, you don't have to. That would seem phony. And Rinna, who's staring at Kyle, Rinna doesn't understand human emotion really when it comes to other people than herself. She's staring at Kyle and she whispers to Erica, we're gonna get blamed for this. And Dorit whispers back, I just think it's not going to go anywhere good. It's said, it's gone so freaking far. What do you have to gain now? What do you have to gain? Beep boop boppy boop boop boop. Guys, the beep boop boppy boop boop boop, just for people that just started listening, is because I always think Dorit's C-3PO from Star Wars. That's it. It's really not a big, and but that Rinna, we're gonna get blamed for this. We did it. We stuck our foot in shit again. Kyle to Andy goes, I'm really not okay. I don't want to sit here for a toast. Can I leave? And Andy's like, Doug, what do you want me to do here? Kyle's a wreck. Andy, you're kind of like the leader. You know, it's like Doug. There is no Doug. Well, there is a Doug Allen, but it's like Doug, I'm going to need to blame you on this one. Like, I wouldn't Andy go, Kyle, sit the fuck down. We're going to finish this out. But Kyle to Garcelle goes, do I have lipstick on my face? And Garcelle goes, no, you're good. Can you give me a Kimosabi hat as a comfort animal? But I guess, you know, and Juliana wrote in the note, it's amazing that she's worried about that right now. But listen, this is what they're paid to worry about. They're very aware of how they look. And Andy listening to Doug in his ear is like, okay, all right, okay. Okay, we're going to do this real quick. We are back with the final thoughts on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. Kyle, you've been crying for the last while. You're clearly still very upset about everything with your sister. So you feel like you two can figure this out? And Kyle with tears, you're like, I hope so. And Andy goes, you hope so? Yeah. Lisa, losing your mom, I know, has been one of the toughest moments of your whole life. What was that like, sharing that experience with the world? And she goes, I think we grieve in private in the worlds that we live in, and I don't think we grieve in public. So it was a fucking mind blower. And Andy says, Erica, you got some tough love and some dick this season from your friends, both Lisa and Kyle. How are you feeling about where you are right now? I shit you not. Like, not even like she goes, I'm good. Things are good right now. I've got some great legal process. And I mean, it's really all I can ask for right now. Like, you wouldn't know that anything's going on with Erica. And he goes, as difficult as this year has been for you, Dorit, was there a silver lining? I am reminded every single day when I look at my 2 kids, how very, 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 very lucky I am. And Andy goes, Crystal, some of your friendships were really tested this year, but you really found your voice. Also, we just found out your husband directed The Lion King. Where do you stand in this group now? And Crystal goes, well, I was challenged, but has made some of my friendships a lot stronger. And I've learned a lesson about myself and the type of friend that I want to be. And I move forward with that. So a good place. And Andy goes, Sutton, it seemed like your name was on the tip of everyone's tongue this season. Like a young podcaster named Ryan Bailey. Do you feel like your friendships are in a better place? Well, yeah, I mean, I never know quite where I stand with some of these ladies. So we'll see. I mean, I like forgiveness, and I think we can all work on that. I think it's important to move on with our lives in a positive way. And Andy goes, Garcelle, you've got your beach house being built. Do you have your eyes set on a new goal? And Garcelle goes, I want to have some more fun. And Andy goes, yeah. I wish we could all have more fun, Garcelle says. And Rinna Dorit in unison goes, amen to that. Amen to that. And then he goes, well, I've taken the liberty to order drinks for all of you. It's a difficult order. I hope I got it right. Belvedere soda with 3 lemons, carcass out, and a short glass. Is that right, Dorit? And Dorit claps like, I got mentioned. Yay. Dorit does it again. Wouldn't it be cool if they did the Dorit's Room at Buca de Beppo as the set for this? Well, whatever. Andy goes, all right, you have earned these drinks. And Dorit goes, yes, we have. And Andy and all the ladies, but Kyle, take a class. And Andy goes, to Beverly Hills, ladies. And they all say yes. And Andy goes, thanks for a great season. And Erica, and she has to end it on the smarmiest of comments, goes,
Thanks for the PTSD.
and everybody goes, yeah. These fuckers don't know what PTSD is to save their life. Andy pulls Kyle in for a hug. And it seems like a really genuine hug because I think think about it. They've known each other for 12 seasons. Erica chugs her drink and goes,
it's been a minute.
Bullshit. Been a minute.
I haven't tasted vodka in months now.
Kyle leaves the set without saying a word, and Garcelle goes, okay, bye, everybody. And Dorit goes, good night, Crystal. I'll see you in New York. 5 minutes later, Dorit knocks on Kyle's dressing room door and enters. Okay, honey, listen, I talk to you like a sister. Like, Dorit, Dorit, I don't know if Kyle fully respects you in this moment, or you know what I'm saying? I speak to Kathy exactly the same way. Dorit, does Kathy even know who you are? Like, tonight at the very end, you're not going to get that resolve and that warm feeling like everything is okay and you guys are going in tomorrow super, super tight as if nothing had happened. You know that's not going to happen as much as you. And Kyle's sobbing, how am I supposed to fix it? You're not going to fix it. Leave it to Jagaloo. And Kyle's like, no, you don't know. I can tell by the way that we ended. Like, she's been with her sister, but she knows that it's fucked. And Drew goes, I know, but you know what? It's out of everyone else's hands, and it's in yours and Kathy's. It's chic. It's in your chic hands. And that was the most important thing of today. And that's achieved, and Kathy can handle it. And Kyle, I'll help. Please let me hang out with you still after the season's over. We see Kathy and her entourage leaving the soundstage. Rinna is on stage going, hey, that was rough. I don't know. I tried the best I could. I'm really glad that's over. And we see Rinna walking off set. Yeah, I'm going to miss the cameras. I miss you guys already. And Rinna's like, I mean, this has just been fucking unbelievable. And back in Kyle's dressing room, he's like, Kyle, if she makes you pay for the sins of others, it's on her. You have cried for the last 2 hours. What good is this doing for you, honey? What good is it doing you, baby? Please. Shows in a baby. Mama, your mama bear, please. Dorit hugging Kyle. Please, please. People, please, please. Kyle, you need a good night's rest. It's been a long day. The in summary, showing a picture of Kathy kissing Kyle in an embrace. It reads, the next time Kyle saw Kathy was at BravoCon, which was just 2 weeks ago, you guys. She hopes they'll get back to a good place again. ... Eventually. I just got goose pimples all over my body. Holy shit, you guys. What a show. You had Chef Stu. Thank you to Chef Stuart O'Keefe. And thank you to Juliana Carrazza for taking the best notes ever. Happy birthday, Meditza Lopez. I don't think she really listens, so she probably won't hear this part of it, but wish her a happy birthday tomorrow. And to you guys, I know these are insane pods and the lengths of them are insane. And the amount of people that listen to them are insane. And it blows me away. And you guys give me a reason to get up in the morning. I'm not even joking. You give me a purpose in my life. So this weekend, I hope you have the best flipping weekend ever. I thank you for making me a part of a small part of your life. But what do I always say? Eat something good, drink something great, go dance with somebody, maybe kiss somebody with their permission, hang with your kids, or maybe ignore them. Take some time for yourself, watch something good, not reality shows, read something, listen to good music. Just do what makes your heart happy. And I'll talk to you bright and early on Monday, unless you're a Patreon baddie. And then I'll talk to you again this weekend because we got some episodes to cover there. But holy shit, you guys, we made it through another season. Thank you to everybody that has stayed with me for this. And thank you. I know this can get weird sometimes, and it's going to get even weirder next year. Goodbye. And goodbye to you, YouTube. Goodbye to you. Have a good weekend, you guys.